be hoping this should be this your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And this is Take Me Back, bro. I will make some noise. Now, when me and EFN started this show, we said we wanted to give the flowers to the legends, the people who have been there for us, the people who have been there to pave the way, the people who are pioneers, the people who are legends, the people who are icons. These people have paved the way for me personally. You know, from them putting on someone to putting on someone to putting on me. And all coming together from my home borough. These are icons. When I seen these brothers on stage, a tear came down my eye because I realized how personally I wanted to see it. It's got nothing to do with hip hop. It got everything to do with me. Like, I personally, as a fan, was like, yes, motherfucker! You know, seeing them on stage together, knowing the history and knowing that they come back together, I humbled myself and I believe I made the phone call and I said, I want to make this happen. I would like to be the first people to have you brothers together on again and give y'all flowers. That's the most important part. The most important part is not having y'all here, but having y'all, letting y'all know that it's time to praise y'all. It's time to show y'all how much hip hop owes y'all. It's time to show y'all how much hip hop appreciates y'all and misses y'all. And in case you don't know what we're doing, we're talking about the one, the motherfucking only, third base of the motherfucking nigga. Now, one of these real cold, so I'm gonna let Serch pop it because he likes to do that.
Yeah, that's what she said, by the way. That's what she said. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with this one.
Felt like
yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Pete, what's going on, my brother? You haven't been here. Now this is how you know you're a class act.
Rolling.
Look at that. All right, so which one is this? This is a Monte Cristo. I can tell.
It is, but it's not a Leo Cohen Cuban.
Okay,
you know,
really?
These are Dominicans, right?
Oh, we smoke Dominicans and Nicaraguans.
Yeah. So, but the Cuban soil, I think, is different.
Yeah.
And, just catching up. But Lior put me up on the Cubans, the Hoy de Monterrey way back. I used to only smoke Cubans. But
and
now,
which one is this one?
I'm sorry.
Because that's a Monte Cristo.
This Cristobal is dope.
Okay. So what's the difference between this Monte Cristo and it has a New York label than the regular Monte Cristo?
I think I just was in Chicago. They had a Chicago one, so I think it's the city. Yeah,
okay.
I think it's as simple as that.
So how long you brothers
I
haven't
think they got a Brooklyn.
Okay, out of Brooklyn? Yeah. I love that. How long have you brothers, because I couldn't tell when you said, you guys said you wasn't on stage for 30 years together, or if that meant you guys hadn't seen each other in 30 years. Is that a big difference?
Was it really that long?
So I think Cassidy got a little excited.
Okay.
It didn't seem that long.
Yeah, so we hadn't performed officially on stage together in probably close to 12 or 13 years.
You can tell you from Queens. That's movie pop that. You gotta give him Queens and shit like that. I'm just letting you know. You still got it.
Far rock till the casket drop. Far rock till the casket drop. I saw him do that in Goldfingers for Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh shit!
So can you what you said? We gotta
no,
a little more. We didn't see it.
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta let them know.
Yeah.
It's down to the thug borough.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, no, but so it really had become like after that show, life happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Pete was
After the recent show.
this was like 12 years ago.
Oh, okay. You're talking about that. Okay.
So what happened? Go ahead. No,
it was 30, but we kind of do this every 10 years.
Okay.
You remember the first time?
Wait, you reunite every 10 years?
Yeah, Say Adams.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, legend, yeah.
Right.
So
Say, for those who don't know, Say did the Biggie album. He did a Third Base album. He did the Redman cover.
Wow.
He did Ready to Die. Like
major
graphic artist,
writing.
He's gonna have an exhibit out here during Art Basel.
Right on the pavement, and he's actually in this show at Museum of the City of New York right now too. Martin Wong. So Say somehow finagled the fact that he got me and Serch on the phone together, not knowing that we were going to be on the phone together in 1999.
Okay, wow.
And he got us to come back, and we did Woodstock.
Wow.
So that was
we
the
did
first
Woodstock.
time
in 99.
So what happened was, at that time, our agent was also a guy named Johnny Padell.
Okay.
So Johnny is also DJ Cassidy's dad, right?
Okay.
Cassidy Padell.
Dad?
Right.
No relation to Burt Padell.
No.
Okay. Like Dad,
Dad, father.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So Johnny Padell, who used to book us and Mobb Deep through Cara Lewis.
I didn't know. I never knew that.
So guy ran William Morris. That's Cassidy's dad.
Okay.
That's how actually me and Pete met Cassidy when he was 9 years old. When he used to come to my house in Long Island on the way to It's how we started DJing.
We thought Cassidy was lying when he told us that.
Yeah.
No, we're just playing.
When we got together in '99, we did a couple of records. And Cassidy was like a little kid in the studio. That's how I knew Cassidy.
So he was like, yo, do you guys want to do Woodstock? And we were like, why wouldn't we want to do Woodstock? Like, you know, but the thing that was really funny is they paid us $1,000.
Wow.
So I still have, because I thought it was more, I still have the check that I didn't cash, paid to Third Base, which I can't do anyway because there's no account that says Third Base, for $333.33.
Oh, because that was y'all split.
Right. So we go to Woodstock to do Woodstock, and it's the opening day. It's like Thursday.
Right.
And everybody's all the way on one side. We're all the way on the opening stage.
What was Funkadelic, George Clinton on the other side?
Wow.
But later. But we were like literally like the opening for this stage. So DJ Eclipse, who was with us at the time, he's just starts spinning records. House of Pain, Rakim, and all these people start moving towards us. Moving towards us. And we rocked. And then we went to Europe for a little while, did some European dates, tried to do an album.
Barbito was behind that.
Right.
Stretching Barbito?
Yeah.
Just Barbito.
Oh, just Barbito?
Yeah. And then...
he have his basketball with him?
Right. Yeah. Always got basketball and basketball shorts.
He was doing ball handling drills.
Right. And we started recording for an album called Ichabod's Cranium, which was always going to be the third Base album. Just never happened. You know, life happens. You know what I'm saying?
But I remember at that time, I just didn't see you guys together, but I never remember hearing rumors of you breaking up. It wasn't too recently that we heard you, like, it was like, you guys wasn't coming together, and then seeing you guys recently. So was there like a certain thing that happened for you guys not to be around? Because listen, I'm a part of a group too, and I say it's just me and Capone being together is the same thing as Wu-Tang getting together. There's 9 different personalities, even though it's two. Like, I didn't know this shit, so I'm just asking you guys, like, was there something?
I mean, it wasn't that it was something. I think for me at least, and I can just share my perspective, is that, you know, I was in a place where I wasn't really doing some great listening. Like, I can take responsibility for the
great listening, you said?
Yeah. Okay. Like, I just wasn't a great partner. You know, so at least for me, my perspective, and I can take you know, I can admit my faults and, you know, say this was the reasons for the demise of our partnership was I wasn't in a good place. I wasn't in a healthy place. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't listening right. I was definitely basing a lot of my decisions on ego. I was basing a lot of my decisions on like my wife and my relationship. And, you know, the truth of the matter was I wasn't thinking the way a partner should think, right? So everything was kind of off kilter for me. And looking back, now obviously, because I love that Muhammad Ali saying, like he says, if you're the same man at 24 than you are at 54, you wasted 30 years of your life, right?
Yeah.
So I can sit now here, being a little older than 54, saying, you know what? I'm not at that place anymore. And I can look back and say, I'm not going to be that same person today, right? So a lot of those are the reasons why, you know, we couldn't coexist.
You know, and
I have to can't let that go.
Okay, this is brother shit. I love this shit. I love this shit.
Saying that's big, but also the fact that me and Rich, when that riff was there, we didn't think that Russell and N.O.R.E would actually even let it happen. Like, you know, like let us split up because they could have forced it, but you know, they helped. You know, just they were like, oh, they want to do this. They made up their mind. You know, that was basically so. But listen, me and Rich had some of the same things going on as Serch and
Rich Nice?
Daddy Rich.
Daddy Rich. Okay, my bad.
Rich. He was in the house.
Okay, that's right.
So, but yeah, so I mean, it's just maturing over the years.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, but Serch and I had a whole history even before that. So that's the crazy thing about us going back to when we met at the Latin Quarter.
So, you know, and now, you know, looking at it today.
I thought you met in Far Rockaway.
No. So he was in Floral Park. I was in Far Rockaway, but we always ran into each other. Like we would cross our paths at the Latin Quarter. His first MC partner was a guy I went to high school with who was like the first white rapper ever. A kid named Vanilla B, a.k.a. Keo, great graffiti artist, Lord Scotch. Yeah. Blake Latham. And
speaking of Scotch, we got your blue label right here.
Here we go.
Salute, L'chaim.
You was smooth about it, yeah.
L'chaim.
I like to say that.
To life. But that was the other thing that really was like, to me, was the apex for me was Cassidy's show was on November 8th. That was the 35th anniversary of our album release party.
Wow.
That Clark Kent DJ'd, and Clark died
Rest in
before.
peace. Rest in peace.
And Clark is really the connective tissue between me and Rich and Pete. Dana Dane, I went to high school with. He was Clark's DJ. You know, Clark was his DJ.
Yep.
You know, Pete met Clark. They did a radio show together. You know, Rich.
Before Stretch of Avito, we had the first show at WKCR, and then Clark introduced me to Richie Rich, who, you know, arguably the best show DJ in the world. I mean, like, we guarantee if you put Daddy Rich out there, 10-minute sets on tour, you're guaranteed that the crowd goes nuts.
There was this
we
one
can take
time,
a break. It's
like, you remember this comedian, this Mexican comedian, like, what was his name? Rodriguez. Like, he was Paul Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Paul had a big show. Like, he had a talk show that, like, NBC was putting stupid money. It was the first bilingual show. After Rich did Arsenio, this motherfucker built this shit with, like, cameras on all angles and, like to watch him do his tricks. Like, like when Rich battled in the world supremacy, like, he did a 43-inch vertical leap over turntable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, without missing shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, some Superman shit. So Clark was the connector between all of us. So for Clark to die and not be here, and it's November 8th, and it's that 35th anniversary, and it just, all those numbers made sense to me. You know, and the album coming out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, I hate to do it.
Nah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I hate to do it. But I'm just saying.
You know, some sales, right?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Collector.
Right there, you know what I mean? So, you know, it just made all the sense in the world. You know what I'm saying? And Universal now, like, really stepping up, releasing the record the way it always should have been on double album. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, it felt like the right time. It just felt like the right time, especially because Cassidy and our history with his dad and Kaz and, like, my family with him, like, he's family to me. Like, my kids call him Uncle Kaz. You know what I mean? So it's just made sense. You know what? I remember Chuck D. We were on the road with Chuck.
Well, they all got money now. That's what we never had
too
money
much
back
money.
then.
That's why they thinking about shit like
that. So we were on tour with Chuck. We were on tour with Public Enemy. It was like Public Enemy, Digital Underground, Big Daddy Kane, like, and we were in the South. And I see that 2 live crews on the show. And I used to love to, like, go up and see, you know, order time, set time. And I remember that I'm looking at the run of show, and it would always be like, you know, Kane, third base, you know, blah, 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 blah. But it was always Public Enemy. So this show, and we're in, like, the middle of nowhere. I think we're in the, like, Baton Rouge or somewhere in New Orleans. And it's bang, 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 Public Enemy 2 live crew. So now I'm hot. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Why you hot? You hot because you don't get to see no titties? You don't get to see no titties?
No.
All right, what?
Who the fuck would fuck this up? Like, PE closes the show.
Okay.
I'm from New York.
Right.
I'm a Queens thoroughbred. What the fuck you talking about? Ain't nobody closing over fucking Public Enemy. And I'm mad. So I run into, like, Brother Mike and Brother James from, you know, the S1Ws. I said, yo, they made a mistake. He said, no, they didn't.
Wow.
And I said, let me talk to Chuck. Chuck comes out, he says,
Hey, Chuck knows.
he just said, he waved the Matumbo at me, did the Matumbo, and he said, hottest group closes. And he closed the door. That's all he said to me. And I said, what the fuck does that mean, hottest group closes? We get on, we do our thing. Kane goes on, do his Public Enemy comes on. The fucking place is moving. Whole venue moving. Man, the second they get off the stage, all of a sudden there's about 50 cops all around the stage.
For Luke or for them?
For Luke.
Room for 2 live crew.
These
these want
boys
to see
come
that
out.
pussy too?
Them boys come out. They get on stage, and Luke just says one thing. Hey, these motherfuckers are gonna throw us in jail if we say any cussing, so we can't do the cussing. You do it for us. Hey, we want to put 22,000 people dancing right.
That's genius. So he didn't curse.
They didn't say one fucking word. One fucking word. Tore the bitch down. Said good night.
Yeah,
they didn't say one doesn't work. I want to rock.
Didn't they get arrested on one of the other shows?
One of the other shows they did, but that was because of fighting. There was an assault thing. But yo, it was crazy. Like, and it made me realize, like, when you're on tour, hottest group closes. When we were on tour, like on Derek's Dialect, we're on the West Coast with Cypress. We're like, y'all close. Y'all close. Like, because, you know, when we brought them on.
Right.
Yeah, when we brought them on, Pigs was their first single. Like, no one was really fucking with it. When we got to the West Coast, like, that's all you heard. Every fucking cholo was bumping that shit.
Right.
So we're like, yeah, y'all close.
So let me ask y'all. We had Dr. Dre and Snoop, and Dr. Dre, I asked him for something. There's something that been like, kind of bothering me. I was like, you said that the firm flopped. And I can literally see Dr. Dre put his head down, and he was like, I shouldn't have said that, right? And it's like all these years later, he regret. Do you regret putting certain people on the gas face who got the gas face, obviously?
Like, you ever talk to Hammer in all this time?
Like,
no, I mean, but honestly, I think that, like, and again, this is just me. This is my path. You know, 11/11/24. I celebrated 13 years of recovery, right? So, like, for me, like, so one of the big parts of my maturity is making amends, right? Like, that's a big part of, like, being able to speak to people and be able to make amends and say, look, this is what I did wrong. This is the responsibility I take for my behavior.
Right.
And this is how I act differently. It's not about apologizing.
Right.
Because you can be a sorry motherfucker your whole life if you don't change.
Right.
Right? So for me, it's not about apologizing. It's about, look, I acknowledge I did this wrong. And moving now, this is how I act differently. Right? I would make amends to Hammer. Because I see it from his side, right? And I can honestly say this for 99% of it. Pete's line, that shit was hard body. Like, let's be real clear. Like, that lyric that he dropped on Hammer's head is hard body.
You blaming it on Pete?
No, that's what Pete. That's the line that
he did name his record "Turn His Mother Out."
Right, and he said, "Yo, a prickly pear and a stank hole. The cactus turned Hammer's mother out." Yo, that shit was hard body for us.
And I was arguing with him straight up on the radio with K-Day with Greg Mack. But he sabotaged us and put Hammer on live.
Right. Well, he ambushed us. Yeah, ambushed us on radio. But the point was, like, we didn't think of that line literally.
Right.
Because that's how MCs did. Like, we had double entendres all the time. We didn't think he would literally take it like, yo, we're talking about his mom.
Serch isn't taking it back to the essence.
Take it to the essence.
Yeah, please.
All right, it's 1988.
I'm there.
Before we had records out, Serch would try to get us on anything. So Serch got us on the road with Houdini.
It's fire.
Judging a dunk contest in the full force, like, basketball, celebrity basketball game.
Still makes sense.
In Oakland. In Oakland.
Okay.
And where there was this dude, Greg Butler from the Knicks, and the other dude from the Warriors that passed back then. And this little kid comes on halftime, starts dancing kind of like Hammer style. Boom, then Hammer comes out, right?
And he had a Cadillac filled with, so he was pumping his music out of his Cadillac. This one, he was, what do they call, ball boy for the Oakland A's.
Yep.
So he had a Cadillac, and he had a trunk full of music. And everybody was like, oh, that's the hottest kid in Oakland.
Right.
And, you know, Serch, in the record, he said he had soul coming out of his asshole.
Right.
So he wanted to battle Hammer.
I said, yeah, I want to dance battle.
Hammer had no idea who the fuck we were, and he just
peeled off.
Right.
And we actually caught him outside. He was in a drop top Benz with that kid Dante security.
Yeah. Big Dante.
I even got a picture.
This is in his hometown. This is in Oakland.
Yeah. So that was like, I mean, it was just a playful type.
Yeah, like, it was like we all dance battled, like back in the day.
It wasn't like, no beef shit. Just
right after that, like, so we actually were with him, met him, talked right in front of him, but then he just run and then with the whole you ain't hitting.
Yeah, you ain't hitting in New York.
And that's where our whole diss of Hammer started. And that's where we were just pretty much defending, you know, the guys who created shit for us and Rush.
And you're absolutely right. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
And that's why you saw DMC and Jam SJ
in the Gas Face video.
Like, kick that fake Hammer.
But I want to establish something, Serch. You wouldn't have won the dance contest against Hammer. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
You ain't see your bro.
I got my money on nice.
You ain't seen me in 88, boy. I could jump through my leg. I could jump through the leg. But I see you dancing. Don't get fucked up, N.O.R.E. I can fucking dance my ass off. Go white boy.
Paradise used to throw him on stage at the LQ first, right? Before he was rhyming and had the records out. Just with the Go White Boy, and we'll bring it down.
Yeah, I don't know. He would have got served.
Yeah, not in Oakland,
served. In Oakland, in the Bay, No, but I was really nice. I was really nice.
Yeah, we might have to bring that back to today.
But the point is,
Tyson Jake Paul on the knees.
but the point is now, you know, obviously where I am in my life today, like I would make amends to him, like because I know that must have been like
So never spoke to him.
never met.
Never met?
No, never spoke to him post that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how about, what y'all talking about, Leo Combs? Yes,
Elroy. Yeah.
Elroy Combs?
Elroy Cohen.
Elroy
Yeah,
Cohen.
Elroy
That was
Cohen.
Leo Combs?
That was Leo Cohen.
Did y'all ever make amends? Because that's like that's like the first battle diss record.
Well, first of all, that was like a...
Do you know forever that someone gonna come into Leo? You get your gas face like forever.
He still does.
He still
So
does.
he got the City of Light honor.
Yes.
Like right, so it was all the Def Jam artists.
That's what I went.
Yeah, that's what we went.
I performed and for Cassidy.
Right.
He says to me, he goes, "Motherfucker, they still call me Elroy, motherfucker."
No, he said it like this. They still call me Elroy.
Serch, do you know they still call me Elroy, you motherfucker? You motherfucker. I love you, Serch, you motherfucker. Call me Elroy to this day.
But you know what's crazy about that?
He deserved every bit of it.
Oh, you gotta tell me that part. On one part of that, it's like, damn, you dissed me. But on the other part of that, you made my name live forever too. Yeah. So it's a good and a bad. But how did Leo get the gas face? How did Elroy, excuse me?
Well, you dealt with Leor. So,
yes.
So like when you go up,
I had nothing but pleasure to dealing with him.
First of all, you go up in Leor's office. He's got a big cutout of his fiancée behind him, who was a singer at the time, E.K.
Oh, okay.
And you
I don't know this Leo Cole. I don't know the one after.
Yeah, listen.
Right, this is 298 Elizabeth.
Okay, yeah.
Patrick Moxley was his assistant, so he's like behind him in that little back office, and he's just screaming at people. One time they had us do a rave. They wanted us to do a rave in London. And there were literally like two Nigerian princes who came. We were in the Rush office with them, and they were pitching this whole thing. And Leo's like, I want to get 20,000 for Public Enemy, 10,000 for Third Base, 10,000 for De La Soul. And these guys are guaranteeing everything. And I actually had the other guys
Picturing this is
No. So let me just rewind real quick because there's an important part of this. Yes, rewind. Yeah, this is one really important part of this. Public Enemy were supposed to perform the night before
in London,
and they had a rave
Nigerian priest.
Right. So they already paid Public Enemy, and they didn't perform. So he was like, if you want them again, it's going to cost
another 20.
Another 25,000.
Right.
Plus for this group. Right. Plus for this group.
And he's like, if you do not get the money to me, your father will send you back to the bush. And
oh my God.
He was brutal.
That's a little wild.
Who's being brutal? Leo? Nigerian bush.
But let me just say something. He had,
wild.
like literally when you talk about how we talk about the bag, no, he had a bag, a brown paper bag.
The Nigerian guy.
No, Leo,
okay.
A brown paper bag with 50,000 bands. And what he said to me and Pete is, they will go back to the bush and get me my money.
Another time, he
No. Yo, and so I said, so Pete leaves the room, and I go, yo, can I get $10 to get something to eat? And he peels me off $5.
Leo. Holy shit.
Leo made me sign promissory notes, maybe even for my firstborn. Like, he never lost $1 to a rapper.
He never left a penny on the table. I got so much money out to rappers, that dude never lost a dime.
He
never lost a penny.
Nickels and dimes like manhole
He
covers.
never left a penny on the table. I remember walking in. Do you remember
the Rush Management? Is this Rush Management, Leo? Okay.
Do you remember when Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince had the 1-800 number?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking about a stack. Okay, so Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, because of New York,
number that you
had a 1-800 where you could call them and they would wish you a happy holiday, Merry
Mike
Christmas.
Jones was the first nigga that did that.
Who?
Mike Jones.
He did it. He actually gave his number.
He gave his real number. Mike Jones.
Oh, yeah. So we went into his office.
Mike Jones. You got me.
So we go into his office. There's a stack of checks made out to Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. 22,000, 24,000, 16,000. A stack this high. Like, he knew how to collect money. There was
got
one
20%
thing.
on that too.
Yeah, of course. But he was a monster when it came to that shit. He never left a penny on the table. And that's not a bad thing.
Right.
Especially when he's working for you.
Right.
When he's working against you, it's a fucking nightmare.
So where did the beef come from?
Yeah. How did he get the gas face? Like,
no, he got the gas face because he was a pain in the ass.
It was like a term of endearment. Like, yo, with Daylight with Dante the Scrub. Like,
Okay.
It's like
right, Dante needs a haircut. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was really
like an inside shout-out joke.
It was inside
joke.
That's all it was.
Followed him.
Yeah, I get it now.
I was young at the time, and I thought that was real. Like, I thought that was really
doing all right.
No. It's like, you know,
I thought anybody who got the gas face was real. Like, I thought they would never squash it with y'all.
Yeah,
like,
Well, at the end, it seemed you were just roll calling people that were your people.
Yeah.
So
You called the leader of South Africa, P.W. Bolter. They were just fucking, we were just on our shit.
All right. So, what is your favorite era of hip hop?
Damn, well,
I know what this is.
I'm one of the curators at the Hip Hop Museum with Paradise from X-Clan.
Oh.
So my life is just hip hop history 24/7. So I find myself, as much as like 1986,
Milk Crate
right at the time that Eric B. and Rakim came out, like I would say that would be
Golden era?
probably the top like slice of time. But I really, if I had to go back in a time machine, I want to go back to like 75 at the Evil-O with Kool Herc, Clark Kent, all those guys, DJ Smokey, all the guys, and all these other guys who were pivotal in the history of hip hop that no one knows about, and no one knows about.
Yeah.
So,
you gotta do your job and get up. Fucking must stop me. But that's the Spike era, right?
Yeah.
That's the Spikes and the dark glasses and the S curls.
No. That's really like the AJ Lester, pimp, uptown, like Coke La Rock type thing. And like, when Coke La Rock tells people, Herc was from Jamaica, he didn't know how to dress. I had to take him up to uptown. AJ
Coke La Rock, that was they say the other DJ.
He was equal DJ with Herc, but he also would talk. Herc would talk too, but
they credit him to being one of the first MCs.
Exactly, and there were a number of them. But Coke would say, I would take him to AJ Lester to get the fly shit. And when I was working with Herc's brother, and he had a shoebox full of all these receipts.
Right.
And there's like Kool Herc's receipt from 1975 from AJ Lester. So I showed it to Coke.
Wow.
He's like, I told everybody I took him there. So that going back in a time machine to that age would be for me. That would be the tops.
Okay.
I don't know what Serch would think his.
Hold on, I want to ask you one more time.
Go.
But Swiss Beats calls tomorrow, and he says, I want you guys to do verses. You guys pick your group. Who are you picking?
Well, first off, I want to get Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys. They bought the Kool Herc speakers, which we're actually in talks with them to try to loan them to the museum.
Oh, wow.
To actually use within our organization.
They actually they got acquired those?
That's fire.
Yeah,
I've never heard this.
They bought
By the way,
them
you just blew my mind away.
Yeah.
Wow.
When they have their Giants exhibition that's going around the country, Kool Herc's Herculoid speakers are in that exhibition.
Wow.
Okay.
So, but with the verses,
But with the verses, yes. Third base against who?
Oh, third base.
Yes.
Oh,
you go solo too.
No. I thought you were talking about non-third base.
No. Third base.
BDP Juice.
Just in case, yeah, third base. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, let's see. I think X-Clan third base would be probably the
I didn't think
ultimate,
that.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, obviously, we had, Sugar Chef, Professor X, deceased, but yeah, I think that would have been, because as much as we had beef with X-Clan, I mean, we both love Brother J. Brother J was like one of our favorite MCs.
I think also there's with Lumumba, may he rest in peace, and Paradise, there's a lot of love there. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though they were like, how can the Bola Bear swim with the gorillas and like all of that shit?
Right.
I think it was all like
who were you
lyrical. I mean, for me, it's easy. It's EPMD.
I was thinking more EPMD.
Yeah. Third base, EPMD. Like, to me, third base and EPMD. Only because...
I was thinking Nice and Smooth too, for some reason.
Nice and Smooth too, yep.
Yeah, Nice and Smooth would be great because we did records together.
Yeah,
but to me, I think that it's really challenging for us because at the end of the day, we're 2 albums deep. And that's the crazy shit. Like, if you think about the 35 years.
Look at Kid and Play. I think they got 1 album.
Right. 1.5.
And that, no one knows that.
Right. House Party.
Yeah,
House Party.
No one knows that.
But
Lauryn Hill got 1 album.
But she had also... But she had
but when we say Lauryn Hill, we gotta just
that's true. That's true.
But she can perform Fuji records.
Yeah, she can do Fuji records, and she got that big Cap record. When she bodied that shit, she said, "I'm fucking woman up to make That whole verse is crazy. But to me, it's EPMD.
Yeah,
like,
EPMD and Nice is smooth to me.
Yeah. Those are both good.
Right.
What about you? If CNN got back together, who would you want to do verses against?
CNN.
CNN versus CNN.
Yeah, it's 9 of us anyway.
Right.
Yeah, just I'll be
in your minds.
Yeah,
in your minds.
I'll be like against the Spanish version of N.O.R.E.
Right. And then the CNN version of N.O.R.E.
and then the Pharrell version of N.O.R.E.
Right.
And then versus the Capone and Noriega version of N.O.R.E. We could actually pull it off, and we could be in the same state too. Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
I killed that one. So, is it time for the flowers?
Yes.
Okay. Our show is about giving legends their flowers where they can smell them, their trees where they can hell them, their thoughts where they can think them, and their drinks where they can drink them. We were so happy to see you brothers back together. So happy because I said this to Dr. Dre, and I'm gonna say it to you guys. I said to Dr. Dre, life is better when he's making music, and life is better when third base is in the motherfucking game. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
He owes me this just for making me go to the House of fucking Athletes to sit in a room for 3 hours. My guy, I fucking love this guy,
There we
bro.
go.
And it really is great to see you guys together, man.
No, it really is, man.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
I really want to see you guys on tour. Like,
Well, since we're giving out flowers,
yeah.
I got something for y'all.
Okay.
Since, we're giving out shit.
You're not taking back this record, are you?
No, you can have that. I just figured you want maybe one other one.
Oh, I'm in.
Okay, yes, I want one.
So, there's 2 copies that came out. This is limited edition. I got to crack it open old school way, right?
Okay. That's how you crack it open, like a Nintendo cartridge?
Yeah, exactly
Okay.
right. So you might want to, I'm going to let you check it out.
Okay, yes. He knows.
So, yeah.
He's going to take it from me anyway. You
ahead.
give it to me.
You got green wax on
He
here?
always bullies my vinyl. He think I don't know.
So that's a limited edition green.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
For Christmas.
That's beautiful.
So the link on the bio, link is on my MC Serch bio. It'll be on Pete's bio. You can go and get those right now.
And you said the original pressing of this, they only did it on one
copy. Yeah, it was 47 minutes aside, and we had to cram it. And the Clark, may rest in peace.
It's terrible for DJing.
Clark used to complain about the grooves all the time, how thin they were, and how like the bass would warp. Well, so we always talked about like, this should have been a double album.
I'm one of those guys.
I know we never got double royalties.
We actually think, you know what? And that's, I want to shout out Monty Lipman, and I do want to shout out the Lipman brothers, because once they became the chairmans of Def Jam, they put me and Pete in the legacy program. So we got our first royalty checks ever in 35 years in August.
Explain what that is, the legacy program.
So the legacy program basically means
after 30 years, it reverts?
No.
Okay.
So it's basically this. If you signed a fucked up deal before 2000, they zero your debt.
Wow.
So that's basically
Which is only right.
It's only right. And we signed to Left Hand Records. I mean, Def Jam Records.
He told me, he started telling me that. I didn't take him seriously. I thought he was bullshitting me. So I didn't do it. So I have to go do it.
Right.
So,
What, you signed up for the legacy program?
No. I thought that it wasn't possible. I thought he was fucking around with me.
Right.
I didn't think it was serious.
So you think the music industry is trying to do good? They're trying to write
at least certain labels, maybe.
For us, certainly for us, like, I got to be honest with you and shout out, like, Charlene Thomas at Def Jam. Like, she literally brought people from Hollywood to Hialeah to get this vinyl here for y'all today. Right. Like, so shout out to Charlene, shout out to Def Jam, Erica, all of the people. There's people now that are running catalog, like people that we knew, like Bettina Bynum, who used to be the head of marketing, who did Wayne Records. Now all she does is catalog. And the same people who have the same energy to help
Faith Newman
the Drake.
Part of one?
No, she's a Reservoir. She's a Reservoir Media.
Has masters as well?
She did the De La record.
Okay. Oh, she got De La back.
Right.
Okay.
And she's on the board at the Hip Hop Museum as well.
Oh, wow.
So Faith got it going.
So I will say that,
Faith was also in a female group called 4-Pack.
That's right.
No, I didn't know Faith was rhyming.
Yeah.
Shout out to Faith. That one. Yes.
Yeah. So I definitely feel like at least Monty, who's now the chairman of Def Jam, and you can see what they're doing for the artists from our generation and how they're trying to step up and do the right thing.
Right. Because I remember hearing people saying those contracts back in the days always had that word perpetuity. And no one knew
throughout the universe.
Yeah, no one knew what perpetuity meant since 2005.
Well, even deeper, I'll go one step deeper. We signed what's called an at-will agreement, which means that we didn't sign a recording contract. we signed as at-will employees to record a record on behalf of Def Jam.
Like being an independent contractor?
Correct.
So what is it, like a work for hire?
That means they own our records for life.
Wow.
We have to sue them.
At the Hip Hop Museum, we got contracts that would make your stomach. Joeski Love's contract.
That people can see the actual contract?
You can see the actual contract. Mike and Dave records with Sweetie G and Positive K's first record on the Mike and Dave label. Like, just crazy. And then even going up to like the early Houdini, the first, those are like the real first contracts with running them. But, by the time we had our deal with Def Jam, we were like kind of in that transition period. Like, people really didn't get paid until we
didn't get shit. I mean, but I tell people this all the time. There's the Left Hand Record side of it, and then there's the Def Jam record side of it, right? The Left Hand Record side of it is we didn't have 10 offers. We met with Tom Silverman. Tom Silverman was the head of Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy, right.
He literally looked at me and Pete and said, I can't give you more money than Stetsasonic. What am I going to tell Daddy O?
Stetsasonic.
Like, I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? No. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like we had a lot of offers. It wasn't until after the Battle for World Supremacy that Russell was like, oh, we want to sign you. But it wasn't like
a fallback. Def Jam was a fallback.
Let me speak for y'all.
Yeah, please.
You probably didn't know you had this many offers because at that time we didn't have a Twitter. But you guys were probably hotter on the street.
We were hot on the street because we were hot on the street, because Pete had his radio show. I was in the quarters. I was battling people. Pete was outside with Clark. Like, we were in the mix.
But I guess my question is, you said that there was no offers, but you didn't probably do an extensive search.
No, it was, bro.
But it was still small industry. It was a small industry.
Profile Select Records.
And they were going to find you.
Right. And they didn't. Like, I met with Steve Plotnicki. They didn't want to sign us.
We were also, at the time, when the Beastie Boys were blowing up. So that was also something where all these other big labels were looking like for that white group, white MCs that were like kind of had that rock edge. And we were not that at all.
That's a great example because, when we came out, they had no other choice but to pair us the Mobb Deep. There was no other black kids from Queens in that area at the time. So was that something
that held us back?
I was about to say,
we didn't get deals just because of that.
Because they wanted y'all to be the Beastie Boys?
Yeah, exactly. Wow. And the thing is, like, there's been this talk like, oh, Russell got us to fill in for the Beastie Boys. We were already signed we were soloists on Rush, and we just signed on Def Jam after they left. So, like, I went to Leor's wedding. Serch
in the Dominican Republic.
Serch could not go to the wedding because he had to work.
No. I couldn't go to the wedding because he didn't invite me to the wedding. Like, he left me at the airport. He didn't invite me to the wedding.
I remember.
That's a fact.
Serch was delivering Chicken Delight. Chicken Granada, which was called the Think Tank because it did not have a radio in the car.
Yeah. You had a record deal and you were still delivering chicken?
So I was, I had 3 jobs.
Look, young artist.
No, I had 3 jobs.
Do not quit your day job.
No, I had 3 jobs.
3 jobs. Who's your 3 jobs?
So the first job was I would drive yeshiva boys from Queens, near you, to yeshivas in Far Rockaway. So very religious Jewish schools.
Okay.
I would go from there. So that started at 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Then I'd go from there. I'd go to the Harmon Y in Far Rockaway, and I drove a food truck, to homeless shelters. So I delivered food to homeless shelters all through the 5 boroughs in a 26-footer refrigerator. Then I'd come back at 4:30. I'd get about a half an hour sleep. Then I'd pick up the yeshiva boys, and I'd take them back to Queens to be about 7:38, and then we'd go to studio. That was my rotation for a year. Even when... Here's the crazy shit, though. This was the crazy shit. So, Step Into the AM is a video. It's out.
Right.
I'm driving a truck in Brooklyn. And this dude, and I'm milk, cookies, butter crunch. This kid asks me, he goes, ain't that you? And I'm like, nah. But there was no money. We got, I think our advance was $15,000 or something like that. Like,
so that's
you know what I'm saying? Like, and half of that went to my mom.
But Leo still didn't invite you to the wedding.
He didn't invite me. He might see it differently. I didn't get invited to the wedding.
No invite.
I went. But he went.
You got the
man. He went. He had to have invited you.
He did not invite.
Everybody went. It was like if that plane went down, all of hip hop would have been gone.
Yeah.
It was like
That's
Public Enemy, LL, Run-D.M.C.
It was everybody. Slick Rick, everybody.
So you felt like they were blackballing you from the
I was not invited to the wedding. I was not invited. I always thought, like, back in the day, like, and it is what it is. I mean, again, it's perception, right? So I'm a 21-year-old kid. And I'm already telling you, like, I'm really not really seeing things right. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I saw things. I didn't see things right.
Right.
I always said, like, oh, Lior loves Pete, Russell loves me. Like, that's how I always felt. Like, oh, because it's, you know what I mean? Like, that's just...
Right, that was your perception of
my perception.
Right.
I felt totally opposite.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, yo, we were on...
Russell loves
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, again, he could have invited me. All I remember is I went to the airport, right? I was delivering chicken. I got finished delivering. I packed my bag.
I knew there was something about
and I got the Matumbo.
You didn't get the Matumbo
Yeah, Leo, I got the Matumbo. And the thing that was crazy is those days, there was no TSA. You walk to the gate.
Right.
So I'm like, Michael Barron. They're like, who? I'm like, Michael Barron, my ticket. And I got the Matumbo. And I'm crying in the airport. I'm watching everybody get on the plane. LL's with his wife, Simone. And fucking this one. Mandy's with Rick.
Pete Nice left you too. He was like,
Yo, he was like, I'll see you with my tan.
I was just chilling with Eric in Paris. That's like when Eric Paris first started on Rush.
Yo, wasn't there something about LL swimming with his hat?
Yeah, like LL.
Oh, this is such a great story.
He would go under in the waves, and he would come up with the Kango arm.
Oh shit!
Like you know, you would not see. You see him 6 o'clock in the morning.
No. So yeah,
what kind of fit?
No. So
he was like
okay,
surgically
the fisherman
attacked.
No, the fisherman.
The fisherman.
Yo, bro.
Okay.
So there was supposedly the story that Ecstasy told me, may he rest in peace.
Yes. From Houdini.
Yes.
Okay.
L goes in the water. The Kango comes up. L ain't out. So now everybody's going to the, yo! L's hat! Because nobody knows what his head looks like. No one's seen him without the hat.
Okay.
Except on his passport photo.
Right? So everybody's, and this is what John Ecstasy's telling me. Everybody runs to the water. Water's crystal clear. And they're looking. And they're looking, right? And they're looking. And all of a sudden, hands. Pulls it back, and he comes out of the water.
That's a true story.
Commitment.
Want to talk about commitment? That alopecia is a bitch.
It was crazy. I was watching this morning, the audition. What was it? What movie it was? Where he comes and he goes, box! What was it, Crush Groove?
Yeah, box. Yeah.
He goes,
Crush
box!
Groove, yeah.
And then he just starts performing.
Right.
That fucking scene is just so legendary. But his hat was on.
Legendary.
His hat was on.
That's the time when we came up. It was 298 Elizabeth, that office. That was like the center of hip hop. And like, we go in the office. Next thing you know, we're playing N.O.R.E football with Run-D.M.C on Elizabeth Street.
That's not where Chung King was at, right?
No, Chung King was
around the corner. Okay.
Right, it was on Center Street.
Yeah, I'm the next generation after that.
Right.
You know, next minute, like, you know, Dante.
I used to be jealous of y'all generation.
Dante's coming over and say, yo, come with me. I got to find Rakim to get his passport photo for the Def Jam tour in 1987.
Right.
You know, it was.
Yeah, we would watch Dante's house while he was road managing Eric and Rakim. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this was like, you know, it was, and when you teach or when you educate or when I go and lecture, when you watch kids' eyes, when you say, okay, I come from a place where there was no thing called hip hop. Mm-hmm. There was no business. There was no streaming. Their eye, it's all of a sudden you become like an artifact.
Yeah.
Like, how did you even survive?
Right.
Like, how did you even but it's the truth. And Grand Mixer DXT says it all the time. He says, we are a nameless culture that was given a name by a machine that doesn't even care about us as
an industry, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, the word hip hop came from the Rapper's Delight record, and somebody wrote about it in the Village Voice and called it hip hop or whatever. Like, there was some periodical, right?
Like, they had to define it to monetize it.
Correct.
Right.
And it was even more like when Wild Style the movie came out, they called it the hip hop movie. So that started to spread. And it just became known as hip hop. You look on the flyers, you look on all the advertisements. It really started to show up after '83, even. So you can look at the first 10 years. It wasn't even hip hop. Wasn't even
a thing. It wasn't a thing. It was just you were tagging on walls. You were dancing on floors. Right.
In you guys' era, right? It was almost like frowned upon to have a commercial record, a radio record.
Yeah, being on the radio wasn't the best thing for true hip hop artists at the time.
You remember those times?
Listen, Pop Goes the Weasel, the record we did was based on that. Like we got offered commercials for Sprite, different things we turned down. We could not do anything just because you didn't want to look like you were commercializing shit and selling out.
And the point, I'm sorry.
We would try to do records that
the irony of Pop Goes the Weasel, it went pop.
Right, exactly.
But that was the problem. It was the problem, and it was the point at the same time, because, you know, for us to go commercial was corny.
Right.
Because every executive in the room was a cornball. They were all straight bozos.
Right.
So they didn't know anything. So because they didn't know anything, how am I going to intercept your bozo-ness with authenticity and still be credible when I go home?
Right.
Because that's the shit I care about. Like, I don't live in commercial land. I don't live where you live. I got to go back to Redfern and OV and see my people.
Right.
So there was no credibility in doing that. Right. It's not like today where, you know, the people that you're now talking in the rooms with grew up on 50 years of hip hop.
But let me be honest.
Like, now if you're not commercial, you're not even relevant in hip hop.
Let me be honest with you. For me, right? After you guys' era, it was a time where, like, Nas was the most loved kid in the world, right? Loved person in the world, right? Loved man in the world, whatever we want to say. And then he came with that album, I believe it was written, right? After
it was written.
The Golden album,
Illmatic.
Illmatic, where a lot of people say he might have made money, might have changed his life, might have got him out the hood, but it wasn't that level of success.
It wasn't a commercial success.
It wasn't a commercial success. So people will arguably be like, damn, that took away from Nas. But some people will argue like, that made actually
the perfect foundation.
So I would.
When his hip hop, when did that ever? Because even Wu-Tang, like Wu-Tang's first album, I listened to that shit. And if you go look at the algorithm of that album, at least 7 or 8 records were on the radio. They weren't promoted, but they were on the radio, and that was the algorithms at the time. So when in hip hop, when did it come from? You being underground, but if your record happens to go commercial, it was still accepted.
So I'll share 2 stories.
That was a great question, by the way. I ain't gonna lie. I felt good about that.
Let's give it up.
I felt good about that.
That's a good question.
And this is
a good question.
I just think y'all 2 pioneers. That's honestly something I would want to know, because I don't know that era.
Right. So I can share 2 like practical. Points. One we were talking about when I came to you and did
even Public Enemy records was always underground, but they were selling to the people. It seemed like they were distant almost.
Right. And they were selling
in Europe with the entire
audience being white.
You know, so Fear of a Black Planet, the entire audience is white.
Wow.
So I was doing consulting for Nike in 1993. Right. I was working with a guy named Mark Ray and a woman named Kim White. And I played them a record where Nas said, I'm a Nike head, I wear chains that excite the fan, right? And I said to them point blank, you should probably give me like 50 bands right now for this mention. Because I promise you what's gonna happen is as soon as every kid in Queens hears this, they're gonna hang up their Timbs and go buy Nikes.
Right.
And I was able to get them a check.
Wow.
Right? Just because I was consulting them and they believed me. But what I did was when I started working with Mark Echo and Echo Unlimited.
Big up Mark Echo.
Right? It's funny you talk about, anniversaries. Right. This is the 30th anniversary of Echo. Yeah. Right? When we started it, Mark always had this philosophy of like, okay, we have to do natural integration, but commercialize it, right? So we were talking about like when I did the CNN.
Yep, I remember.
Echo, we went to the building.
Yeah.
Because I said, yo, where do you smoke? Where do y'all go hang out and smoke? He's like, we go to... Yeah. So I shot, and everything was grainy, and it looked like we captured it, and then we dipped.
Right.
When I shot Prodigy, may rest in peace, and Mobb Deep, they were on the 40 side of Vernon, hanging off on the bench. Right. So it was about having those voices in the room that could say, this is what's credible. This is what's real. This is what feels real because it is real. And we're talking to the artist because we're not coming up with some catchphrase.
Not many.
That a bunch of people. Right. So like all the catchphrases, like me and Busta were talking about it when we did his. It was him and his son Taziah, who's now 30-something, right? And his son had to go use the bathroom. And we like, do you want to go with Taziah? He's like, let him pull his pants down. He'll figure it out. I was like, that's the quote. And that was the quote. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was real to what he was experiencing while he was in the clothes, while he was wearing the clothes. That was what was missing for me and Pete's era in 91. That's why we couldn't do Kentucky Fried Chicken ads. That's why we couldn't do, because there was no one in there that we could correlate our realness, our authenticity, and then have that become an eco-siloed fucking ad campaign.
Right.
No, there's zero. But with Echo, what gravitated everybody to Echo is, they're real. Right. They got the real dudes. They got the real Dodge, the Dodge.
Because in retrospect, right?
And the bag was real.
Yeah,
like the bag.
That's what I was saying. Living in that time, right? It was kind of crazy to say that we got messed up contracts, but let's not take this money from over here because we'll be corny for taking that money over there. Are we saying that we didn't care about our families back then?
No, what we're saying is but listen, but here's the other side of it. N.O.R.E.
If you say, because you say Michael Jordan, they always say that Michael Jordan had one of the least powerful contracts in the NBA. But he went and he made all this money through Nike and all this other shit. So he had a chance to hire good players around him. So what I'm saying is, back then, if our contracts were so fucked up back then, why was it fucked up for us to make it somewhere else? That's what, you know what I mean?
And the answer is because you would have been so fucked up that your credibility would have been fucked up.
You would have shot your career in the foot. Yeah, you would have shot your career.
You would have been here to this day.
But even though it doesn't make sense. It
does. It totally makes sense. If somebody's a cornball, and N.O.R.E., one thing about you,
right.
If somebody's a cornball, you fucking with them to this day.
But I ain't gonna lie. Look,
if somebody's a cornball,
and Birdman, they co-signed Lugs, and they still survived.
Yeah, but I don't think that bag was that serious.
But they ad was that serious. Nobody listened to them.
But nobody fucked with Uggs, and nobody really fucked with Uggs regardless. Like
That's
no one
true.
went out and fucked with Uggs, like Lugs, whatever they're called.
Okay.
Nobody fucked with it because that shit was fugazi.
Okay.
And everybody knew it was a bad grab.
Right.
Remember when they wanted us to be on Beverly Hills 90210? Donnie Einer and Tommy Mottola were begging us.
I would have.
This would be so great for your life.
There's an episode where that whole crew of kids goes to the club.
It depends what the scene
and there's a band playing. We're the band, and one of the kids gets slipped to Mickey. They get
Mickey's
in the hospital, whatever.
A roofie,
whatever. And sure enough, the group gets involved in the whole, like, it's a Scooby-Doo episode or whatever.
Like, yo, drugs are bad.
But we were just like, listen, we would have
That would have been classic.
I'm gonna be honest.
No, of course, in hindsight.
In 20 years later,
I'm gonna be honest.
But I can see back then. It doesn't, like, if you didn't do that, you wouldn't understand.
I wish the whole era. I know what you're saying, and I know back then that's what warranted it.
How about this? N.O.R.E., how about this? We go in for a reading for Malcolm X.
Okay.
Me and Pete.
That was gonna be a Malcolm X?
Yeah.
What part?
So Spike, I'm about to tell you. So Spike,
Coño,
mira. Cállate, unos momentos, please, por favor.
I'm ready for this shit. It wasn't there for a while, I know that.
Close. Anyway, so we get in. Sam Jackson is there. He's reading with us, and it's Spike. And we get the sides, and it's CO1, CO2.
Oh, shit.
And he wants us to read when they ask Malcolm Little his numbers. And when he didn't give his numbers.
Red.
Yeah, when he first got in jail.
But when he's in jail, he's Malcolm Little. Real name.
Yeah, his real
and they're
name,
like,
right.
Little, saying, and he kills it. He like kills the reading. And Sam's, nah. And I'm not really, killed it. And then Pete just goes, really? Like, this is what you want us to fucking do? Really? And I was
do you walk into a movie theater and you see third base?
No, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, but that's not acting. Acting, I can see that.
It is acting.
But
it's acting.
yeah.
But how would the hood taking that? How would the hood taking that?
Let me just
how would the hood taking that?
Let me describe to y'all what y'all describing. And this is real talk. Y'all era was too hardcore, man.
It's true.
Y'all kept it too real. But you know what?
You can
That's
do about
what led
that.
to my generation keeping it half real, and then now this generation keeping it not real.
Yeah, you kept it.
Well, that's what I mean. Y'all fucked up.
It's talking real. Because you know why? It's true. It's true. Like, what y'all saying right now was like, yo, you know what? The hood, the respect, the look was more important than the actual bag.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, of course. I even said to Spike, I said, Spike, when was the last time somebody asked you to play a chauffeur in a movie?
Right.
And then we blazed.
Right.
And we were out.
Right.
And that was it. And then, I did Bamboozled, 2000, had a better look.
Right.
But like, it would have been horrible for us.
Yeah,
it would have been horrible.
That would have been
the hood would have been like,
I
you
saw
played
Spike
yourself.
in the Knick game. He just looked at me and went, just still upset about it.
No,
he was upset.
Oh yeah, he just looked like, yeah.
I could understand because in acting, everything is warranted, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I could understand it. But,
yeah, but on the streets, people take that shit real, man.
Right, but it's
how
not like
real
they
y'all
came
kept
in
it.
as thespians trying to just do this.
Right. And it wound up being 2 thespians and it got 2 actors and who knows who they are and nobody cared. But if it was us.
Right. Yeah.
That's a serious subject.
Let me see.
Really serious.
Let me see.
Because I even said to him, because I read, at that time I was reading Malcolm X at least once a year. I said, yo, there's that scene in Colombia when the student walks up to Malcolm and he's going to do the thing. He says, yo, I don't have a racist bone in my body. And even though I'm white, isn't there anything I can do? And Malcolm looks at her and goes, no. And keeps moving. I said, why can't Pete goes to Colombia? Like, yo, why can't we do that role? Like, it's fucking authentic. Like, he fucking graduated magna cum laude, a degree in English. Let the motherfucker do that.
Right. Now that's real. But acting is play
But it wasn't
with
like
10.
acting.
Yeah, I know.
But bro,
back
we
then,
were
whatever they
so real.
Like
everything was real.
Even Belly. I remember when Nas did Belly, people were really thinking he was.
Yeah. Yo,
The
I
audience
remember
would
people,
believe this shit.
Yo, people would asking me, yo, when's your man getting out? I'm like, what, out from where? Where is he getting out from?
But in retrospect, this is something that I know you're close to. Is I believe when it comes to acting and people sticking with those roles that they're categorized as, I believe Bishop was the one.
Oh,
Tupac. Like I believe both of you guys know Tupac. I've never met Tupac, right? Before or after.
Well, you're trying to say that people said he became
1,000,000%. I know everybody.
We heard it because Daddy Rich was in Juice with them and saw the transformation from when we were on tour. Like Tupac used to come in my hotel
But you know
room.
Digital Underground.
Yeah, he was with Digital.
He was dancing.
He would just come in the room.
He would freestyle.
Freestyle.
Could beat
Spit
Tupac
around.
in the dance
He
battle?
knew he had a production company.
Absolutely.
So like Tupac's trying to get a deal. He's trying to spit like, what do you think? What do you think? I'm like, it's all right, you know.
And you out third base at this time?
We're third base,
Okay.
and he's actually walking up to Rich and saying, yo, Rich, can I help you carry your cases? You need any help? Yo, we bought him Whoppers,
That's
Pizza
wild,
Hut,
man.
everything.
He was such a good dude, though. Like,
Great dude.
he was good dude. Like, and we would be on the road, and you know, Shock G, may rest in peace, and me. Like, he would just play the keys, and we would freestyle damn near all night, just off the top of our head about how much we loved each other, how much we loved where we were at, how much we loved how we were moving, you know. And it was just, it was family.
Right.
You know, it was really like a family. Like, you know, we'd play pool with Queen Latifah and Moni, or we'd work out with this one. It's really family.
But isn't that kind of the moral of this whole story, is that back then it was like a small community and doing certain things would kind of exile you from that community.
Right, but back to what he's saying. So Tupac we had once a conversation, told me about his mom, and I see that he had like these friendship bracelets and like a silver bracelet and just like a little silver chain with a little silver medallion. He's like, you never wear gold. Tells the whole story about the gold trade. And so he's in Juice. Rich reports back to us like, I think Tupac thinks he's this character.
Like he's seen him turn into the character.
He saw it right in front of his face. So
wow.
we do this show and I think it was a Gavin at the Townsend. And we walked to the side stage and who's standing there in the corner with this big dookie cable on with this big huge gold medallion.
Oh, this is Death Row Tupac now? Or
No,
No, this is way before.
Okay.
And like,
This
yo,
is Brenda Got a Baby.
Okay, Brenda Got a Baby.
Holla if you hear me, Tupac.
Yo, we clowned him, and he was like, yo, he was pissed, man. He was like, we were like, yo, what happened?
Yo, what happened with the gold, homie? Yo, why you got that gold on, homie?
Yeah.
You looking like, you know, you got that slave mentality, homie. He's like, yeah, why you doing
But
me
he was
like that?
mad young
called him out
too,
there.
and
Oh, yeah,
you
no,
know,
but that's the whole
That's
thing.
what he
like,
said that
yo, bro, like
represented.
at the end of the day, like we were all young. Like we
Right.
were all really young. Like thank you. We were making adult decisions as children. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, I think about like the decisions I made about the demise of our partnership at 23 years old. Like, I got kids, you know, my kids are 30, 28, and 27. Like, I can't imagine my kids at 23 making the decisions
Right.
that I was making. I was just not capable of making those decisions.
Real talk. You got something to say to that?
I'll just say, like, when we get Daddy Rich in here, he could go more in depth with that Tupac story.
Okay.
He was in the battle scene. You know, Rich was right on the set, and he's got a good perspective on that.
All right.
I think when we talk about whether it be Pac or Big, we talk about them now as if they were older, not remembering that these were young men, really young men.
Yeah.
doing what they were doing and making the mistakes that young people do.
Right.
But we're trying to bring them to our age now. Like, oh, wow, that was fucked up. They did this and X, Y, and Z. You know?
But that's what I love about what like Wallow did with Kodak Black and what Wallow did with Thug. Like, you know, there's certain people that are in the podcast space, right? That really take it upon themselves to like understand, like, if we're going to really uplift this next generation of kids that are really getting money, like insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
We have to start to level the playing field in terms of what they understand about commerce, what they understand about not just being a brand, but what they understand about brand responsibility, brand focus, brand vision, you know, really bringing them into a level of conversation that they'll get, because if they don't, they'll find themselves 35 and broke.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah, man.
Well, quick time slide.
Before we get into that, I want to ask you, going back a little bit, the Beastie Boys. What was the riff there?
I'll start.
There's two riffs.
You want to start?
Yeah.
One riff was my best friends in college. My roommate, he wrote Sake 1. He went to school with Mike D. And my other boy,
Mike D from Jungle Brothers?
No, Mike D from
Mike
the
D.
Beastie Boys.
Okay, the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Mike Diamond.
And Ad Rock went to school with our boy MC Disagreed, Dan Keeley. And MCA went to school with all of them, and even with Blake,
rest
summer
in
school.
Yeah, rest in peace, yeah.
So they always looked at them as, like, you know, you're coming up, if you're a white kid in Brooklyn or whatever, you know the kids who are down with hip hop. Basically, they're saying, like, they were not down with hip hop when they were down with hip hop. So it was like, yo, those kids.
Well, they looked at it as a commercial.
and they just jumped on the bandwagon.
Because they came from the punk scene, but the punk scene and hip hop came up together.
Well, that's
a
not
degree.
for us. Like, if you talk to me and Serch about the punk scene, we couldn't
Back
tell
then.
you anything about the punk scene.
Correct.
We were 100% hip hop.
I
You know
like
what I'm saying?
But this is
There's
pretty
there's some
sick,
kids
you
like-
guys. Like,
No, it doesn't.
No?
Our boy
Like
Dante
CBGB and
might
all
be
that,
the
no?
one guy who was in both things, but kids like
Like I
and
grew up
Alex
with a guy.
said-
Yeah, like there was a guy named Dave Skilkin. May he rest in peace. He was their guy.
right.
Like there was two key people, Captain. Again, may he rest in peace. And that's the sucky thing about doing this at 57
Right.
is how many people you got to bless. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Which is another reason why we're sitting here today. Like, so the whole thing, at least my side, was I really didn't understand how Russell was moving with our contract. And Russell was living at Barrow Street at the time. Right up the block was Mike D's apartment. And Mike D was with this kid, Sean, the Captain Carousel, who was their tour manager, may he rest in peace. And I was so frustrated, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna knock on Mike D's door and just ask him. It's the
Just wanted to
afternoon.
precut, this is the famous baloney story. Is this the baloney story?
Oh, shit. You got
don't know.
baloney stories? on
Okay,
there?
well,
I don't know what that baloney story is, but I'm gonna find out.
Make sure it's not
So, yeah.
full of baloney.
So I went upstairs to his apartment. Sean's knocked out on the sofa. I go to speak to Mike. They had just left Def Jam, and they just signed their deal at Capitol. And I said, "Hey, man, like, I don't really understand what the fuck is going on. Like, help me understand like how Russell moves. We got this deal."
Who are you talking to again? Sorry.
Mike D.
Okay.
And you know what? Let's just salute Mike D here.
Yes.
For being the richest person in hip hop, because
Yeah.
he sold his mother's art collection for like $500 million. So the DJ Hurricane, my man DJ Hurricane.
Shout out DJ Hurricane, man.
Peace.
L'chaim. So I go to ask him these questions, and we're having a real conversation. He's like, "Yo, you know, be careful with this, be careful with that. You know, you might want to check with this, check your lawyer about that." As I'm leaving, I turn to say peace. He starts throwing shit at me, like a rubber ducky.
See, I thought it was a piece of baloney. Sorry.
So
That's
it's like-
why I thought
so
it was
he starts
baloney.
throwing a rubber ducky at me. Sean all of a sudden wakes up. He throws a Cheeto at me. And I'm like,
whoa.
and they're laughing. So I'm like, all right, there, whatever. And I left. And then fast forward in Spin Magazine, there's this article, and they ask the guys about third base. And Mike says, "Yeah, I know Serch. Like, he came to my crib, I threw shit at him." I was like, "Oh, fuck you, it's on."
Right.
So we were in the studio, and I was like, "Yeah, son's at third base. It's on. Fuck you. Fuck
Right.
y'all. I'm a son you.
Right.
Fuck y'all."
And then I
'Cause
think
that's-
after that, Sam Sever took me to a spot where his barber was,
Right.
and like Ad Rock walked in with that actress that he was with at the time.
Ione
And
Scott?
He's like, "Yo, Pete Nice was saying that he didn't do anything." You know, like,
Right.
it just became this thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I mean, we were on Def Jam Well, we weren't on Def Jam. We were just on Rush at the exact same time that they were still signed and everything. So that time of Leor's wedding, they were still on Def Jam. That's when Russell.
That's why he ain't come to Leor's wedding?
No, that's when Leor Cohen and Rick Leor kind of took over. Rick Rubin left, and that's when the Beastie Boys left right at the same time.
They went to Capitol.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, actually, they went nowhere for a while.
Right.
And then
because they had to get off the deal.
Yeah.
Took them like 3 or 4 years to get off the deal.
Yeah, it seems like when they said they had tapes of Russell doing something in the back of. MCA said he had a VHS tape of Russell doing something in the back of a bus, and that deal just got settled real quick. And that's in New Music Express. That's not like secret. You know, it's like right in an interview. Was he kidding? I don't know.
Oh, that's a concern.
A lot of tapes flying around. There's a lot of tapes.
That was like quick time was lying to me.
I mean, listen, the Beastie Boys, those are some ill tours.
But did you guys ever squash that?
No, we squashed it. Actually, when their book came out, they asked me to do that section of the book. They asked me to do the audio.
Right.
And and when I had a syndicated show called The Old School Show, and MCA had produced a documentary called Gunning for the #1 Spot, which talked about like AAU basketball.
Right.
And I interviewed him, and we made peace about a year before he died.
Right.
So it was really cool because we got to talk about it. And the thing that was real funny was as we were closing it out, I told him how I felt about him. He said, thanks. I said, now we're going to end the show with Sons of Third Base. He's like, no, Clayton, because they had a Silly Professor record that was their diss record.
And
he's like, yeah. So he was like, nah, you better play that shit. So yeah, it was all good.
Hurricane told me that was his favorite song to perform.
Oh shit!
Wait, Sons of Third Base?
No.
Silly Professor.
No, there is to
Silly
them.
Professor, the diss record, yeah.
Is it like that? Like Kevin Hart and these people always accuse like there can't be one black actor at one time. Is it like that in the white world?
Oh, definitely. For when we were coming up,
it can't be one white rapper.
Whether it's
could only be one.
A DJ, dude who works at the label, dude who gets a coffee is in hip hop. It's a chip on the shoulder.
Right.
That's there. That's
there can only be one.
There can only be one. I'm the only
from
one
1989, I would say from 1989 damn near to 2000. There can only be one.
Can we describe from that era from the white rapper?
Well, you got to go back to 80. Listen.
Yeah, go back where?
Serch and me and Vanilla B, probably the only three. Like, I got a picture of Serch at Prospect Park with Paradise on stage. Rakim's first show where he's got a pair of tight shorts on, socks all the way up
ready to
his
dance.
ankles, dancing on stage while Rakim is performing his first show with Divine Sounds and Stetson.
Wow.
Yeah. So like he was down with Tony D and the Bad Boys. You know, Lumumba, Professor X was my first manager.
Wow.
Like I was down with this group Cinquanon where we were with Dana Dane and Sparky T and all these people. So we were like at the same time the Beastie Boys were actually blowing up.
Yeah.
We were kind of like more on that underground scene. And we were having, me and Serch used to do, for $25, $50, we'd announce acts at Hotel Amazon.
Yeah, Hotel Amazon.
Irving Plaza. We introduced Rob Bass.
Right. First Rob Bass show
It
ever.
take two to make a thing go.
First show ever. There's a new
And Easy Rock.
New artist.
Easy Rocks. Rest in peace.
Clark Kent was the DJ. May rest in peace. Like, you know what I mean? Like that we were like people would always say like, who the fuck are those guys? Like we would get into everything. Like there would be baddies outside the Red Parrot. We'd walk right past them. Like who the fuck are those white boys?
We didn't have a record out, and Serch is like, "Yo, we're going to Davenport, Iowa with King Son." Next thing you know, we're on a band.
King Son.
Traveling to Davenport, Iowa with King Son and his crew, and we're doing a show in a flood zone.
Yeah, it's like we would just move around. We were always moving around because people coming up that time, they knew that we weren't trying to like appropriate the culture.
Right.
You know, Pete had a dope ass radio show. You know what I mean? Like it was dope. Like they played real shit. And, you know, I had promos on Red Alert.
Listen, the highlight of my career and Daddy Rich's career was when Red Alert played the promo that we made for him about the radio show. And it was played in between the Public Enemy and the Jungle Brothers promo. We were like,
it was a promo for your radio show.
Understand, like when you heard a promo, when you heard a promo,
he had the Serch is always getting this promo with Churchill out.
Yo, it was like you were the most famous motherfucker in
you need a record
New
out,
York.
nothing.
they would just say to me, I would get $50 for people to just have me go to shows and get dissed. Serch is always getting dissed. Serch is always getting dissed.
Wait, why? I don't get this.
No, it was just a promo.
Oh, okay.
I had a record called Hey Boy, and so my promo was like, hey boy, and I'd be like, yo, what up, baby? And she's like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about Red Alert. And I'd be like, damn, Serch is always getting dissed.
And that was the
So
thing.
it became a thing.
Yeah.
It was self-deprecating, but at the same time, like, shout out to Red Alert, because Uncle Red.
Red Alert,
so
man.
he got me my first lawyer. He hooked Serch at Latin
man,
Quarter.
Latin
It's
Quarter.
like unbelievable. What
That's how me and Chris Lighty met.
Right.
Chris Lighty, may he rest in peace. Yo, we used to carry Red's crates. So at this time, Chris had a white Maxima, right? Because he was going back and forth to see his dad in Baltimore. So we moved back and forth from Baltimore, right? And he would have Red's crates. We would go to Kiss. He would put his crates in the Maxima, and then we go to Latin Quarter.
Me and Serch met at the Latin Quarter. I was with Ella B. We're standing in front of Latin Quarter. This Lincoln Town car pulls up. See Serch pop out. I don't know. He had some sort of, it was either a Shirt Kings or like a acid wash, bedazzled.
Bedazzled?
Yeah, with like a rhinestone thing. Was it that?
So I had two Shirt Kings. One was me, my face, that said "Hey Boy" on it. That I would, and that
Because of the promo?
Yeah, so I think about that one. So
and I was going to a show. I was performing that night.
July of '86, he was performing. I have the flyer.
Right.
He was
Tony D. So Tony D. got me an executive, like a town car, like a local car from Brooklyn, to bring me to the show.
And so me and Blake are standing right in front. Serch comes popping out. Now Blake went to high school with him. I had just heard Serch's record. Heard he was a white guy who had a record on P. Fine. It was like it was the song Melissa that he had out. And I was like, man, this motherfucker beat me to it. And next thing you know, I'm with Blake. We had this group called the Servant Generals at the time. Serch comes out. It's like, yo, Pete, Serch, give him a pound. And he just kind of like says, all right, and just walks by.
Yeah, I was getting ready to go on the show.
He trying to dance battle you?
No, he didn't want to dance battle you? I don't dance.
I feel like he'd be trying to dance battle everybody.
But
He's about to battle Boris right now.
And I'll take him too.
Yeah, and this goes on the white boy chip on the shoulder. Years later, I get a call from Blake out of nowhere, having not talked to him for years. Like, yo, Pete, Serch was just on this thing. He said that me and you were waiting outside of LQ because we could not get in and he had to get us in. He didn't get us in. We always got in. I'm like, yes, Blake, we always got in. Why is this bothering you so much right now? But that was just the type of thing where, that's the first time we ever met. And then obviously, by the time we were going, we went to Red Alert's birthday party. Me and Serch went to Green Acres Mall. Red's birthday.
Green Acres Mall.
And
got him.
Look, wait.
Yeah, no, go.
So Serch's like, yo, get the frosted mug.
Yep.
With the etching on it. Happy birthday. DJ Red Alert gets it, wraps it up and everything.
Wait, he was 50 back then?
No. No. It said, I was telling him, like, yo, we got to get something special that he'll always remember. So it was his 5th anniversary.
I said 50.
I said, happy 5th anniversary, Uncle Red.
Right. And I think it cost like $25.
It was a lot of money.
So,
it was a lot of money.
For us. So we go on LQ, comes up, Red's on stage, Serch is like, makes a big presentation, walks up, gives it to him. Red's like, oh, thank you, Serch. Chris Rock, who's doing the stand-up and the intros, he's like, yo, Serch, where'd you get that at? Green Acre Malls for $25? And everybody lost.
Balling. Everybody's laughing.
They knew.
Yeah. But I mean, it was the thought that counted. Red loved it. But I mean, I'm just saying that's where, Chris Rock is doing the intros.
It's like, but that's what it was. Like, it was, it's really hard to explain to people that there was, I have a homegirl named Shelby who used to work for like Elektra and everything. She's like a PR person. She really succinctly nailed this. There's so many people culturally that like Nick Quested, who just did this amazing documentary on 64 Days.
I saw it. Yo, that shit
crazy,
is crazy.
Right? Crazy.
He infiltrated the
infiltrated the fucking Proud Boys.
That shit is crazy, yo.
Right? Nick Quested.
How crazy. Look how excited he is. I'm the same way.
Nick Quested danced with me and Bobito in Nick's fucking, Bob's apartment on 14th Street. We were breakdancing, b-boying.
And he's got all the good pictures he took inside the studio.
And he won an Academy Award. Like, she said, yo, we were just some kids bugging out.
Right.
We had no idea how we were going to impact culture. We were just some kids bugging out. We were kids from New York. We're just running the streets. Now we run culture.
Right.
Like kids that tag, they fucking curate the Louvre. Kids that fucking went to Columbia curate the Hip Hop Museum.
Bobito started out as my barber.
On 96th Street. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a curator of basketball culture around the world. Like, all of us come from this fucking era of just some kids bugging out. N.O.R.E was fucking in fucking Iraq.
That's right.
We're just some kids bugging out.
And by the way, let's give it up to Bobito being nice with the Clippers.
Yes.
I'm ready to get a shake up from him right now.
And Subrock. Subrock, that dude with a Clipper. May rest in peace.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, she really hit it. Like, we were just some kids bugging out. And we went from understanding what we were doing to really understanding how we can make a living for our family doing what we continue to do. Right? You know, like, and I've said this to you a million times. When I took him on the road and he went to radio stations, I mean, it was so fucking disrespectful, bro. Like, he would be on the morning show, leave the morning show. The program director, operations manager go, does he want to do morning? I'm like, your morning show's right here, motherfucker. Like, why are you? He don't want to do morning. He's already in the van asking me, do we want to go to the next spot?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you could see. You could just see the elevation. Like, you could see, and we were just some fucking kids bugging out in New York, having a good time, doing what we love to do. Like, you know, I remember telling Russell when this album was gonna drop, all I cared about, there were 3 record stores in Far Rockaway and 1 in Rockaway Park. I just cared about those stores selling out the record. And he's like, well, I care about it a whole lot more than you do. I want to sell a whole lot more records than you do, trust me. I'm like, no, I need my hood. I need this sold out in my hood.
But let me ask you, right? Because it's something that I can't, like, you know, I'm Puerto Rican, right? So I'm gonna be prepared to the Puerto Ricans for the rest of my life, right? It does not matter. Like, I don't care. You don't grow out of it, and it's not saying the fact that they say, "Oh, you're nice for a Puerto Rican." You know what I mean? I'm sure you get that. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they set up, like, "Oh, you're nice," but there was a whole era of like that white genre music, right? Beastie Boys, and when does that start? You said in '89, because I believe you said something, and then you said it was before that.
Well, they blew up in '86.
I mean, it still wasn't that many white
MCs. The White Boys with T-Ray was in White Boys.
Yeah, they were signed to Select.
Yeah.
To me, I'll tell you, at least to me, again, my perspective.
Yes.
Everlast, who was in House of Pain, was part of Rhyme Syndicate. He has
Ice-T's crew.
Right.
So
Dope New Styles,
What
Rhyme
year
with
is
Breaking
that?
Sign.
What year is
Down
that?
with the Rhyme
That's in
Syndicate.
the late 80s.
Like crack of whip, you know what I'm saying? About
When he had the long hair. When he had the hair.
Get drunk.
Yeah.
Good.
Yo, and while I be getting drunk with that bottle of rosé that I keep in my trunk, punk. Like, yo, he was
Everlast was
nice.
drinking rosé back
yo,
then?
he was nice.
Oh shit!
Was he dating Carmen Electra back then or something? Or he had her in the video or something?
No, this is earlier.
Yeah. So this was like, this was way earlier. So then he was there, then we were there, and then all of a sudden there were like iterations of Third Base. Like, you know what I mean? Like, big men on campus got signed to Select.
Schecter,
They were done
Shecky
it.
Green,
One
big
and
man
done.
on campus.
Milkbone,
You know what I'm
remember
saying?
Milkbone? Milkbone was dope.
Milkbone was later.
But see, but the problem, so here's the problem with Milkbone, and this again, my perspective.
Okay.
You're right. Milkbone was nice. His name wasn't nice.
No.
His name was not
The
nice.
name could be better.
And because he was down with Naughty by Nature, like for some reason.
I didn't even know that he was.
Yeah, so he was like that. So like Cypress Hill had the Hooligans.
Right, which is Alchemist.
With Scott Kahn and Alchemist, right? Like all of a sudden,
That's why Alchemist comes from that.
Yeah,
group.
right, Hooligans, bro.
So every group had to have one. Like Dre had M. So now every black dope artist had to have one. Like I gotta find a white boy. Like everybody.
But you think it was that thought out? I don't think.
Yeah,
You think Cypress thought of that?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
When I did right after I did OC, after I made the OC album, Word Life, and all of that.
Big up OC.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Fucking times up,
OC's
man.
fucking
Times up.
legend,
Big
man.
up OC. Yep.
Yo, that album, Word Life.
Legendary.
Anyway, yo.
But go ahead.
Anyway, so right after that, we put together Nonfiction, right? So Ill Bill, Clips, Bach, Gore-Tex. I'll never forget what David Geffen and Wendy Goldberg said to me. They said, I don't need this group to be underground. I need this group to get with Dre and be the next one.
Oh, shit. That's
Next
crazy.
House of Pain. And I'm like, no, they're the hip hop Ramones.
Right.
I said this in 96. I said, they're the hip hop Ramones. They're never going to need a hit record and they're going to tour for the rest of their fucking life. And you have to figure out how to monetize the records because we're going to monetize their career.
Right.
You figure that shit out. I don't know how to fucking do what you do on the alternative hip hop side, but they're the hip hop Ramones. Be clear.
What label is this?
Geffen.
They were on a major?
Yeah. So what we had done,
Nonfiction.
so how we did it was we had them on a major, but we put out records independently through Fat Beats.
Right, okay.
So the four
That's how I remember
with
them, right.
DB Alias Christ and all of that was still Geffen, but we were treating it like an indie, but Geffen was funding everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's early because that ended up happening a lot later on.
Exactly right. That was the first time that a major label allowed an incubator program to happen. And 30 years later, thank goodness, Nonfiction is still touring and they are the Ramones of hip hop. Like they will tour forever.
Was Company Flow already out?
No, they came after.
Oh, wow.
LP, so
who,
they came
then let's name, didn't Eminem have we've got Bubba Sparks. Let's not forget Bubba Sparks.
That's later. Right.
But that was Timberland. So Bubba Sparks
Bubba Sparks was Timberland.
Because with N2 Deep, N2 Deep had to pretend not to be Latin.
Right.
Because,
Lighter shade of brown.
Yeah, lighter shade of brown. They had to pretend not to be Latino. Because there was no category.
Because if you're Kid Frost, you're too Latino.
Oh my God, your head would explode.
But he's on Ruthless,
You know what I'm saying? I had a group, and I hope they're watching. They were from South America called Sete Notas, Sete Colores. They had a record called
That sounds like they fucking somebody up.
Yo, this record was called Bois. And all that record was the noise that the pistol made in the club. Your head ducks down. In Spanish, they said the head ducks down because the pistols go Bois, Bois. I was open. I couldn't get these motherfuckers a deal to save my life.
Right.
Couldn't get him a deal to say, but Siete Notas, Siete Colores, I still listen to your shit to this day. That record was fire.
And I had this kid, Cage, who in his demo for Faith Newman said he was going to catch a Sony exec with the thought off in his chest. So he was not getting signed. But he was kind of and he had beef with Eminem. I guess they battled a little bit, but he was kind of a version of Eminem before Eminem could be, deciphered and with Dre.
So here's a trivia question.
Hold on, let me say something real quick. It seems like this is obviously me outside looking in, it's the inside looking out. But it seems like once that person is at the top, it's like they go at the top. Like they won an Eminem spot. Like I remember one year, I felt like Eminem. It felt like whoever got hot, like Eminem had to shut them down.
Yeah.
But it felt like they were attacking M.
No, but M was attacking. He said, I'm nicer than Pete. I'm on a search to crush your milk bone. He was going after everybody.
But that was his thing.
But he was going after everybody. But the point I was just going to say to you is you're talking about white rappers, right? Mm-hmm. Who's the only white rapper? Who's the only white rapper to do a record with Biggie?
M, but not alive.
No.
Yeah. Not M. M did a record post. Who's the only white rapper to do a record with Biggie?
You're supposed to be Googling, texting
Didn't
me.
Didn't
Biggie
mention Milk Bone? Didn't he mention Milk Bone in a verse?
Want to call a friend?
Long Island?
I hope it's not. So the answer you're going to say it's you.
No, I'm not going to say it. So the answer is R.A. the Rugged Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. R.A. had Biggie in the studio. And I say that to say, but I say that to say there was this incredible movement for about 2 years between 94 and 96, where all these underground MCs, Eclipse, you remember this too, 94, 96, there was all these really dope white MCs that people were like, yo, this kid's...
Well, the underground was perfect for that because it didn't discriminate. It's just, you're just dope, you're dope.
And Big was hot. Mm-hmm. Big was hot. Right. And he did this record with fucking... And it was perfect. Because R.A. was crazy out his mind. Fucking Biggie was on that shit. It was crazy.
Yeah, I gotta go back and listen to that record.
Yeah, man. Shit is crazy. So the point is, there was this period of time and how it kind of went left, not to his demise, not to his fault, but M became a rocket ship.
Why? Because he became so much that it's too much.
Hi, my name is, and everybody's like, oh, that's the theorem.
Yeah.
That's the theory. Everything else goes to Fat Beats. Everything else goes indie. And if we don't find that, then it's not worth making.
And that's kind of the way the Beastie Boys were differently earlier. I mean,
Even though M comes from that.
Right.
Because he comes through the fat beats.
Correct.
He comes through all of that.
Right. Game, you know,
Right.
Bad vs. Evil, him and Royce. Like, you know what I mean?
The Infinite album, like the
but there was that trajectory that Hi, My Name Is, and it was over.
And Dre, because Dre is the formula that takes it to that level.
Obviously.
Right.
Obviously. So, you know, and there was that, and then you look into like, and then really think about it. 98, 99, 2000, name a white MC that made any impact besides them. 2001, 2002.
Bubba Sparks, I was saying that, right?
Bubba had one record, 1997, 98.
Nah, Bubba lasted like a couple of albums.
Yeah.
I mean, but that one record was enough
96,
to keep him.
97, 98.
I
96, 97, 98,
Okay.
Bubba era for Timberland.
No, I think Bubba was like more 2000. Yeah, Bubba was like more 2000,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, but 2001,
Right.
2002, 2003.
Until you get to like Yellow Wolf.
One record, 2005, 2006. I'm still going, by the way.
GK down the line.
2007.
Yellow Wolf,
It wasn't
MGK.
until Action Bronson.
Action Bronson.
2009, 2008.
Wow.
That you started to have, oh, maybe there can be more than one.
Right.
Maybe there can be, oh, here comes Jack Harlow out of Kentucky.
Jack Harlow.
With fucking
Yes.
putting out records in 2012.
Which is the changing of the way that music is being
The gatekeepers are now gone.
consumed. Right.
There's no more gatekeepers.
Because then you have blogger era going into this era, and SoundCloud or whatever.
So the strength, and Mac Miller. If there
Mac
was
Miller,
no Rostrum,
right.
there's no Mac Miller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So again, the white rapper, the plight of the white rapper was the gatekeeper,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And the black cosign.
Right.
And then you eliminate all of that just by making music. Who's this girl now? Georgiana? She's killing the fucking internet right now.
Wait, the girl that be rapping on the mic?
She, from Indy.
I hope she's rapping on a mic.
Michigan City, Indiana. She's fucking killing them.
Yeah, I like her.
She's fucking killing them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But we're in a period of time now where we're 50 years plus in. There's no generational gap for these kids. I look at an artist like Bodie James, right? Bodie's killing them right now. Does a record with Harry Fraud. No one cares, right? Producers is different. Like you could be a white producer and be dope.
Right.
Scott Storch, right?
Right.
Alchemist. Yes.
Congratulations to him too. Album of the year, you know what I'm saying?
Alchemist
Producer of the year, like
been killing it nonstop.
Yeah, forever.
Right.
But there's always been this
Green Lane,
gatekeeper-
Scram Jones.
Yo, shout out to them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's always been this gatekeeper level that's like, okay, this is where you can be. You can be a spectator, but not a participator. And the one thing that the internet did, the good thing, was it allowed the gatekeepers to fall back. I'm not saying it allows a lot of great music to come out because that's a whole other different story, but at least it allows artists to be artists, and then you make up the decision whether they're dope or not.
I think what the internet did is it took away the divisions between the different underground scenes. Because in the underground scene, if you're dope, you're dope. That's it. That's all that mattered. If you're whack, you're whack. And it took away. The internet's like, okay, now we can see these different underground scenes and we can connect it in this one big underground scene.
No, I love the 8-Ball MJG shit when he played Glorilla and gave her fucking flowers and said she really represents Memphis the right way.
Right.
Because that's ultimately what I want. Like for Far Rockaway, Keen Streets represents Rockaway the right way. Moolah represents Rockaway the right way. Like I want the artists that like come from our hood, I want them to represent my hood the right way. You know what I'm saying? And there's artists that do that in every hood, in every genre. That doesn't matter what kind of music.
Right.
You just want to make sure they represent your hood the right way.
And at the Hip Hop Museum, we're trying to represent everything that you just mentioned and think about all the different artists, all the different platforms. It's just so hard to bring under one roof and try to represent it all properly.
Right.
It's insane.
Well,
It's almost impossible.
Quick Time with Slime's about to be insane.
Ready.
Rappers
You gotta
out of
explain.
control.
We got to bring Daddy Rich in.
Okay, let's go.
He's going to be your designated drinker. He's going to be his designated
You gonna
drinker.
drink for him?
Yeah.
You gonna drink for him? Yeah. Rich. Yeah, okay, all right, cool, let's go.
Yeah, give me.
Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
Set him up. You got the mic?
Everyone's doing?
Set him up.
All right, okay, we'll get a new one.
Set him up with a mic. Oh, as well.
Want me to move down?
No, you good.
Nah, he'll stay right there, over there. You gotta explain them the game so they know.
Well, Serch knows the game.
I know.
All right, so these are the rules, fellas. We're gonna give you two choices. You pick one, we don't drink. If you say both or neither, which is the PC answer, then everybody drinks at the table. Obviously, you have a designated drinker.
Right.
The real reason for this game is not to pin anybody against each other, it's to bring up stories about anybody we mention. Let's talk about history, give us some good stories. Let's talk about people, you know what I'm saying? And places.
Cool, you ready?
Y'all ready? We got the shots ready? Wait, we gotta get the shots.
No, we gotta get everything ready.
Yeah.
You need a shot. Look, this guy's ready to pop
So let me
bottles.
ask you a question. Well,
All right, he's talking to you.
No,
right?
I'll ask either one of you.
can.
Go ahead.
So since we did verses, let's not do verses. Let's do concerts. Who would you want to see third base on the road with?
Nice and smooth.
Public Enemy.
I like nice and smooth.
These are all good answers. By the way, there is no wrong answer. I was just
Can be. It's all legend and classics.
We were thinking with that boy Van Soto to squash beef tour. All the groups that had.
Yo,
beef.
that's the
Public
crazy. Yo,
Enemy,
let me tell you
Yo,
something.
that
Naughty
would
by
be
Nature,
ill.
You know what's crazy though, and I will say this: after
They have
press
beef with Naughty by Nature?
no. They have beef internally. After the word hit, Drez called me on Monday and said, "Yo, me and Long made peace."
Wow.
He said, "Me and Long made peace," and there's like all of these like I hear rumblings that Everlast is talking to fucking Danny Boy again, and this one's talking to this.
Oh, they have
one.
beef?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Or they-
but
right.
You know, but I'm just hearing like even like word is Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Like I don't know, but I know that like Drez called me
Wow.
and said, "Yo, we made peace. If you and Pete could do it, we can do it."
You know what I'd like to see? You guys with Hammer on tour.
That would never. That would
Holy Ghost boys.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, honestly, like I said, man, I would love to make amends to that man. You know what I'm saying?
I think Hammer's a
I
super
don't think the
legend,
tour
to be
will
honest
work.
with you, man.
I think the beef squash will work because y'all still have totally different algorithms.
Exactly.
Like, y'all
Nah,
have the same,
I don't believe. I think that it could work. No,
they
I
don't
think
have
it
the
could
same
work.
fan base.
I think it could work.
I don't think we have the same thing.
Nah, I don't
I think
they
it could work, man. I think it could work.
I mean, I think a lot of shit could work. But I like to do a reality.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Hold on, let me get my Mama Juana ready.
Can we give a toast to the best show DJ in history, Daddy Rich over here?
And we gotta get that. We got his Tupac version of the song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nas or LL?
Nas.
Yeah.
Nas.
Tipo tá rápido. Jay-Z or Big Daddy Kane?
Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane.
If one of y'all's off, then we all drinking. That's the way we doing it. Y'all gotta be on the same page.
And no disrespect. I mean, no disrespect
Nah,
to Jay, but bottom line is there's no Jay without Kane.
Yeah, no.
Period.
And remember, any stories, because we just went past
No, I mean,
Nas and LL.
we all remember
Any-
Jay being on the road with Kane. Like we all remember, you know, that was his crew.
Any standout stories seeing them on the road?
No, I mean, I just remember like we would all try to find
I remember
ways.
Serch losing a lot of money to Kane.
Yeah, I lost a lot of money
Dice
playing
games.
dice. But I remember us always trying to find Red Lobsters wherever we went to go eat. We'd always try to find a Red
You
Lobster.
immediately made me hungry.
Yeah. Facts. I heard we're going to like Jerobe's restaurant after this. So like
So 1-800 where he's spinning at.
1-800.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So anyway.
Go ahead. Oh, Dana Dane or Slick Rick?
Oh, you skipped one, bro.
You get it.
And they were in the same group, you know.
Yeah, heard.
Kango crew. So here's a story. Here's a story.
We need it.
All right, here's
Let's go.
the story, right? So when I was growing up in Redfern, we would listen to these cassette tapes, fourth and fifth generation cassette tapes of parties in Prospect Park. I used to love those because there was always a group called the Kango Crew. I couldn't really hear what they said because it was fourth, fifth generation. So by the time it got to Far Rockaway, it sounded like the teacher in fucking Peanuts. So it's like, but they sounded nice.
Right.
That's all I knew is they had British accents, sounded nice.
British accents.
Yeah.
Dana Dane
And they were like,
Slick Rick.
and Slick Rick,
Yeah.
well, Ricky D. It wasn't Slick Ricky, it was Ricky D.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, they're dope. So I get into this high school called Music and Art, right? and it's the first day of orientation. I take the A train from Far Rockaway to 135th and Convent. Go to school, go to the lunchroom for orientation, and there's these 4 dudes in Kangos, the Tigra, permanent crease Lees, and fucking Wallies, and they're doing Indian Girl. And all the freshman guys had like a senior that took you around. The guy who took me around was named Steve Bosco, may rest in peace. And I'm trying to impress him because I'm this white kid with a Jew fro and I'm from Far Rockaway, and how am I gonna know this? So Steve, it's the Kango crew. They're doing Hillbilly Girl. He goes, nah, motherfucker, that is the Kango crew. And it was like the first time I ever saw a rock star in my life, because it was Ricky D, Lance Romance, Omega, and Dana Dane.
Wow.
So, and the one skit that they started doing in high school in 1980 was a skit called Lottie Dottie. We like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. There was no record. It was just their routine. And when we rock upon the mic, we rock, and all they would go, right? And it was a skit that they would do at parties. Yo, I bit that whole shit. I would impress girls in Far Rockaway, like, you want to hear my rhyme? Lottie Dottie, we like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't, right? So for me, and fucking Dana, I know you watching this, and I love you, Dana, because you're my man. I gotta go with Rick. I gotta go with Ricky D. Because for me, as much as I love Cinderfella Dana Dane and Clark, obviously, like, that's the Great Adventures album. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Art of Storytelling that he did with Outkast is crazy. Like, he still got bars.
Yeah.
So, and Dana, I love you. Know I love you,
All right,
Dana.
so I got personally, first show I ever did with the first group I was in, Sync 19, we opened up for Dana.
Wow.
When I met Daddy Richard was through Clark, and when I knew Clark was Dana Dane's DJ.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Clark Kent. If Clark Kent died in 1988 or 89, he would be just as big a legend as he was now, just because, in my eyes, he was Dana Dane's DJ going on tour with Dana Dane. His connection to me and Rich, and
so there's basically a drink going on, basically.
Yeah, so
it's happening.
And the other crazy thing is, when I went to Clark's memorial service, which was amazing, I mean, everyone, like from Scratch to Stretch to Angie Martinez, everybody, incredible. I walked past the casket. It was packed. The only seat that was open was the seat next to Dana, that I go sit next to Dana. And everyone's mentioning Clark's accolades. And it wasn't until Scratch talked about when Clark was on Soul Train with Dana.
Yeah.
And like that, to me, like when I saw that Soul Train, it was, so I have to say Dana Dane.
All right, well, go ahead, salute. Dana and to Clark.
Yeah,
Salute.
this is Clark, man.
Absolutely.
Yo, I still got Trill Burgers.
I wasn't ready for that.
I heard it was good.
It's fantastic.
Trill Burger's
Serch
amazing.
made turkey burger.
Shout
And
out
he
to
does
Monty.
the veggie burger too, and the shit off the chain.
Yeah, veggie burger. He started with the veggie burger, cleaned the grill, or
Fine.
switched the grill rather. You know what I mean?
All right, who's next?
Let's
And
go.
apologies to Rick and Mandy, because they loaned Slick Rick's throne to the Hip Hop Museum.
Really?
So yes,
Oh, that's dope.
We've had that.
That's what I wanted. Shout out to
Rick
Salam Remy
is
Museum.
amazing.
Shout out Salam Remy, man.
Yo, Salam
High school
Remy,
music,
man.
my guy.
KRS-One or Rakim?
It's easy, Rakim. I love KRS. Don't get me wrong. Rakim's the greatest MC of all time.
Right.
Period. End of conversation.
Rakim.
Rakim? All right, that was-
Wait.
I want to hear you.
No. He's your designated.
No, I want to hear what he got to
Well, yeah,
say.
you definitely.
Yeah, Rob.
Right? Okay.
All right. Primo or Pete Rock?
Oh, Primo. It's easy. These are like layups.
I mean, maybe
so?
not for everybody. See, look, he's hesitating.
Well, I just had
He's like, well, what happened was.
Yeah, what happened?
I used to catch Primo out there in my building. He was seeing a young lady on my floor. I used to go walk my dog like 3 a.m. and I'd be like, oh, Premier's in the elevator. So we had a lot of talks. And when I had a couple of groups, this kid Cage, who
Cage.
Cage could not. I had Premier do a whole Premier Beats.
Cage was, you brought.
Yeah, me and
brought him
Bobito had Cage
Okay.
originally. And Premier made a whole tape of Premier Beats.
Wow.
Like, incredible. And Cage was like, nah. He wanted more. So I have to give it to Premier.
So they agree or disagree?
No, they agreed. They agreed. They agreed.
They agreed?
They agreed. Beastie Boys or Fat Boys?
Fat Boys.
I got a picture of Serch at a Fat Boy show in 1985 at Roseland. And Serch,
Can you send it to us so we can put it on the screen when you
Serch has said that he never kissed a white girl. And he's there with a white girl who sang the hook. Who sang the hook on his record, Melissa.
No, she didn't sing the hook on Melissa.
This girl was on Z100.
I didn't know this twist was happening.
She told this story. My boy Chris Money here has that tape somewhere buried in his computer.
She didn't sing Melissa.
She says she did.
No,
she says she's on the hook.
Really?
She said she did a lot of things, man.
Yeah, I guess she did. I don't remember that.
But
wait. I don't know. I think she might have been Italian. That don't count, right?
Messing with the snow bunnies.
Is she Sicilian?
I think she might
If she's
have been.
Sicilian, you
Sicilian.
could.
I think she fucked with the Moors.
in memory
She
of
might have fucked
Buffy
with the Moors.
Prince Marky D, I'll say Fat Boys
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So they agreed again, right?
Yeah. Biggie or Big Pun?
Oh.
All three of y'all, please.
Biggie.
Rest in peace to both of those legends, man.
Hate to disagree. Lyrically?
Or whatever you're...
Pun. Yeah, Pun. I love Big, don't get me wrong. I love Big. Pun was a monster with them bars. Pun was a monster with them bars. Fuck both of y'all.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Any stories with Big or Pun? Anybody?
I mean, I have two stories for both of them. And they're quick. I was doing radio promotion at the time. I was at the Beat with Tech and Sway. I had OC with me. And Craig Mack and Biggie were on the Big Mac tour.
Yep.
Right? And
One of the best promo items in the game.
Ever,
by the way.
ever. I walk into Sway and Tech. I got O with me. And Big had already said, like, Time's Up was his favorite shit.
Right.
Like, that was his shit. And we walk in, and they just go into commercial break, and O's about to come in, and Big's about to leave. And out of nowhere, he just says to me, yo, he's like, Serch, I got to apologize to you now, man. I'm just manic depressive right now. I don't feel like fucking with you.
Wait, who said this to you?
Big. He just said,
Whoa.
He just said, like out of left field. Like I was like, yo, Big, what up?
Pretty
And he's
honest
like,
shit, though.
Yeah. But then the funny part was when we went outside, there was a DJ that was on the Beat. And his thing, he was a midday DJ. And the thing was, his promo was that celebrity artists would leave a message on his phone. Like that was his thing. Like, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's, Shy. Hey, we're coming for the 2 and 2, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
So Craig does whatever he does. Like, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's Craig Mack. I got that flavor in your ear coming. I'll see you at 2:15, whatever. Big comes out and Craig says, yo, Big, you got to do these promos. These kind of promos. He said, and the guy says, yo, it's leaving a message on my answer machine. He goes, that ain't your bitch. I ain't leaving no fucking message on your answer machine. And he's like, no, Big, you know what I'm saying? He goes, I don't need to understand shit. Car. That was it. And the other the Pun story was like, every time I ran into Pun, first of all, he was always happy.
Yes.
That was A. B, he always had people around him that made him happy.
Right.
And he always had like 3 or 4 chicks around him that were just like so happy to be in his circle.
Right.
And he would always make them feel good. It wasn't even like something he had to try.
Right.
He just had this charm. He had this amazing, like, loving spirit. And that's what I always remembered about Pun.
Hell yeah.
And my tattoo, by the way, I have a tattoo. And the guy who did Pun's hands, celebrity tattoo artist on Instagram, he did my tattoo.
Oh, okay.
At the Hip Hop Museum, we had this TV show, me and Paradise, called Hip Hop Treasures. Mm-hmm. And Cypher Sounds was on the show with us. We would send him out to track out.
That's a dope
so
show.
we sent him out to Fat Joe's, and Joe had the jersey from the Trinidad fight when they came out. So he just looked at like an iconic moment that,
nice.
Could not be topped. Like,
yeah.
No,
and I love
that's
Big.
like
I love Big. And I know there's always this argument like Big should be in people's top 5s and this and that. Like,
Well, he's in most people's top 5.
But
a lot of people.
But for me personally, again, my perspective, there's like certain artists that didn't have enough time to make enough body of work. Pun and Big are both that.
Both of
Yeah, I agree.
Didn't have enough time to do
Didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
I agree. But both made crazy
crazy records while they were alive, without question.
Beat Street or Crush Groove?
Crush Groove. Shout out to Sal and the Disco.
Sal Abatiello, yeah. Oof. Because the thing is, they're both kind of whack now. If you watch them, they're both like great, but they're whack.
They got better.
That's what a lot of old movies though, but still.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's great. It's great.
You gotta smoke a joint and get into old school mood. And it gets better with time. It's like wine. That's what it's
smoke a joint and get
Yeah, just smoke a physical joint, a mental joint. Yeah.
Beat Street.
A culture. You look at Harry Belafonte.
Yeah.
Like I watched The Last Dragon the other day. I was
Last Dragon.
in tears. Yo, I was like, because now you know like their kung fu was fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know. I thought they were professionals back then. Now you gonna look at that shit like The Last Dragon is fucked up.
Crush Groove. Okay.
Crush Group.
All right, this is gonna be tough for you guys.
I got that.
That's a DJ question. Clark Kent or JMJ?
Oh man, you're really killing it with this one.
Well, for me, I mean, Jam Master Jay is the reason I'm on. Like, Jam Master Jay found me in Tony D's basement. The first rhyme I ever said.
Wow.
You know? And he leaned back and just like this, and he went, fuck, if white boys start rhyming like that, we're finished. Yo, I need to take you on the road. And
he said that for real?
Yeah, like that's verbatim what he said.
What?
No, I harassed Grand Wizard Tony D for 6 months. I had given up a 4-year scholarship to go to college. I told my mother I wanted to be a rapper, and she's like, what do you mean, you're going to rap gifts at Sears? Like, fucking rapper, right? And I'm like, no, it's a thing called hip hop, and it's this. And she asked me what my plan was. 6 months, I'm harassing this dude. Finally picks up the call, says, yeah, come to the house. It's pouring, it's April, it's pouring rain. It's in Coney Island, Seagate, it's dark, and there's this beautiful brownstone that got a green Jaguar sitting on Dayton's X7. It got a fucking DeVille on Dayton's, got all these fly cars. I'm with my man, Bill. I'm like, Bill, come inside with me. He's like, I'm like, word, you gonna let me go in by myself? Knock on the door. Opens the door. Tony goes, who you? I said, I'm MC Serch. Get the fuck out of here. You the guys been calling me? Yep. Come in. Walk through walk through the hallway, opens up into this living room where the kitchen was. Grand Wizard Tony D's man, Lord Charu from the Eternal Forces right there. Grandmaster D from Houdini. Jam Master J.
Wow.
Are right there. And Tony, he's like, let's go in the basement. I had this little gold chain on with this little gold watch that my father gave me for my bar mitzvah. And I'm going down the stairs, and all I'm thinking about is, damn, I'm about to get robbed by 3 of the greatest DJs of all time. Like, I'm literally like, yo, I'm about to get snuffed. Like, it's pitch dark. Turns on a light bulb is doing this. There's an Akai 1200 in a booth. And he sits me in a seat like this. And Jay's there, Grandmaster D's there, Lord Charu's there, and Tony D's behind me, and he goes, rap!
Boy.
And I was like, so you think you rock well, got a snowball chance in hell to catch an MC Serch, because I'll ring your bell and soon you a child of my... And I'm going hard for 2 minutes. And Jay leaned back and went, man, fucking white boys start rhyming like that, I'm finished. I need to take you on... And the next day, took me to Rochester, New York with Davey DMX, opened.
Wow.
And that was my career, wrote records for Houdini, and yeah, so... I mean, I love Clark, but... You know,
on my side... Conversely, I used to go to Clark Kent's crib on Union, badger him to make break tapes for me to rhyme over, begging him. He's already Dana Dane's DJ. I'm trying to get him to be my DJ. And he's putting up with me. And
why is he putting up with you, though? Is there a reason why?
I mean, because he's Dana Dane's DJ. He's fucking hot fire.
No, but why are you putting up with him?
I rhyme for him.
Why is...
I rhyme for him. And also my boy Blake introduced us. And... I had the radio show.
Oh,
Once
okay.
the radio show came up, I was like, yo, Clark, I can let you go
also-
on. You could go off for 2 hours.
Vanilla B and Dana, we all went to high school together.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
So it was
So like the way we got introduced.
So everybody was familiar.
Everything just came
Right,
through.
right,
But then
okay.
the kicker is, if it wasn't for Clark, that man right there, Richie Rich,
Right.
would not have been third base's DJ, would not,
How did that happen? Put us on.
This is so...
So I brought two of the worst DJs in the history of DJs into this group. Let's just call it what it is. Can I just wait? Let me just call it this. I brought two of the worst fucking DJs in the history of DJs to this group. I will claim, like I said, I will take responsibility. One kid named DJ Word and another kid named DJ White Knight.
I hope they're not DJing anymore because you just.
And both of
Listen,
them.
White Knight was nice, man.
He was not nice.
That name is not nice.
No. So what happened with White Knight is
Listen, for a white kid from the backwoods of Tennessee,
he was
Oh,
not
shit.
nice. So here's
Oh,
the thing.
shit.
So this.
How did you find this guy?
I'm going to tell you. I'm
I'm going to tell you. So Serch was like, yo, I'm going to see MC Holiday, right?
No, that's not what it was.
So
It was-
who'd you go to see?
No. I was going to see him, but not for what you think I was going to see him for.
But either way, Serch showed up back in New York with this kid, DJ Knight. Yo, Pete, I found our DJ.
Yo, he
I'm
was
looking at this
crazy
kid.
nice.
This kid did not know what a chicken cutlet was.
No.
Like, we asked him, how do you want your burger at Chung King? He said, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I said,
eat mac and
medium
cheese.
rare.
I like mac and cheese.
He was like, oh, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Wait, you're judging him by his food choices? What's going on here?
Yo, he was
that's what I'm saying.
just like he was backwards.
All right, but could he spin? Could he?
He can spend. He did a lot of cuts on the cactus.
All right, so he wasn't a terrible DJ.
No, he was a terrible DJ because he got. Okay, so you have to me, and this is again my perspective, right? You have to capture the moment. Anytime this man DJ'd, he captured the moment.
Right.
Period.
Oh, yeah.
One of the craziest moments
Well,
in the history.
you're comparing these DJs to the greatest
No,
DJs of all
right.
time.
So I'm just saying, but the point is, like, you have to still capture the moment. There was a moment in Arsenio Hall when he was doing sit at home, right in Arsenio Hall. Arsenio leaned on the turntable to watch. This motherfucker fades, lifts the needle so it doesn't drop, puts it down, brings it back. Woo. Like nothing happened. Woo. Like, I'm sorry, technical motherfuckers, you don't know how fucking hard that was because the record should have skipped.
Yep.
Sitting at home watching,
Wait, you anticipated Arsenio hitting the table?
Yeah, the first thing is like, that was the first time I ever pulled that routine off clean.
Right.
I never pulled it off clean even when I was practicing it at home.
And he did
Yeah.
live.
Right. So, I mean, he stood on the riser and whatnot, and I thought it was
and, yo,
over.
and he was,
It worked.
Yo.
so he, and if you watch it, it's like, it's Arsenio Hall, and so you see the needle, and he's, it's crazy. So it's about capturing the moment. So I had White Knight in the battle for supremacy. Why? I want him to capture the moment. This kid bricked. Like bricked to the point he got booed. Then wouldn't leave my crib. Wouldn't come outside. Called his mother and had
How
to
did the DJ get booed and not the artist get booed?
No,
because
it was
it
DJ
was a
thing.
battle.
It was a battle.
A DJ battle.
Then he wouldn't leave the crib.
Okay.
And then his mother came to pick him up.
Sounds about right.
So, and I shouldn't have never looked outside of New York anyway. We had the greatest DJs in the world in New York.
Oh, where was they from?
He was from
Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee.
So Clark is DJing. We have the radio show together. We could do this show Tuesday nights, WKCR. And we start at 1 hour. We're up to 3 hours a night. Then Clark's like, yo, Pete, I got to go out with Dana. And he's like, yo, don't worry about it. I got my man Richie Rich to cover for me. So that's when I met Richie Rich. I got the business card that Serch had. That
So Clark Kent said, this is my man that's going to
this is
cover
him.
for
He's
me.
going to fill in. So I actually had the flyers that we used to make. I had the flyer and I had to put the Richie Rich over the Clark Kent, printed up on alternate weeks. And that's how this man became, my DJ first, because we used to go to Funky Slice making the demos for Brooklyn, Queens originally. And then Rich was out in Farmingdale at school and he couldn't get in. So that's why he was going to be our first DJ before night. And he just couldn't make it in. And then boom. Tell us about how when you made it in, Rich.
Listen, first let's shout out White Knight and DJ Work. I'm on the DJ side, man.
I feel for any DJ.
I have to tell a story. There was one point where
I love that
I don't know. It's like DJ Knight also ate like a piece of cake. Didn't he eat like a piece of cake at one point? And Serch got really pissed off at him, and it was like sometimes
during a routine or just
yeah, just like it was like a birthday cake or something.
Yo, we were. They're in the video. They're in 7 to the AM. They're both in 7 to the AM. They're both in the video. In the video, it was just like I told you. I was not in the right headspace.
But at this point, like
I was really not
I was
making-
totally against DJ Knight. Big time. I was
Absolutely.
like, Serch, what the fuck are you doing bringing this kid from Tennessee?
Leave that
At this
man
point,
alone.
I like DJ Knight. I was like, we were in the studio hanging out with him, and then boom, next thing you know, I was like, yo, Pete, Knight's gone. He's out.
His mom came to pick him up. He went back to Tennessee. Yeah.
And boom, enter Richie Rich.
But Knight did. But just so you know, both Knight had and still does. Like he still does. He still DJs as the former DJ of Third Base all through Nashville.
But
So he was
also,
officially your guys' DJ at one point.
Yeah.
Officially.
When me and Bobito had our label Hoppo, he actually it was DJ Knight who discovered Count Bass D. So like DJ.
Hey, so
Knight
why y'all dissing him, bro? Let the
I'm
guy
not
listen.
dissing him.
Stop just
I'm
saying,
not
Let's be
dissing DJ Knight.
Like
I'm
no.
letting Serch go solo on this one.
He's called DJ Knight, but he's like DJ White Knight. Let's go with DJ Knight.
I'm just telling you.
There's a famous picture in the Hip Hop Connection, the UK, where we had our first photo shoot, and DJ Knight is right there with us. So.
First photo shoot is in the UK?
No, it was like N.O.R.E, I think, took the photos. He came into Elizabeth Street. We went right around the corner, and boom, that was like the first time I think we were in a magazine.
Wow. Yeah, you did the next one too.
Oh shit, I lost track.
Did we have an incident?
I think we.
We got a drink.
We got a drink. We do got a drink because it was split.
Yeah.
Cheers and rest in peace.
Let's rest in peace. Rest in
both.
peace to Jay and
Both
rest in peace
legends,
to Paul.
man.
Absolutely.
And apologies to Hurricane, but he's his best friend. I couldn't pick Jay on that one, even though I wanted to.
I love both of those men.
Not just legends, pioneers as well.
Yeah, you got the number?
Kid Capri or Red Alert?
For me, it's Red Alert. And I love Kid Capri, even though he looks like me. And every time I go out, it's like, yo, Kid Capri, and I'm like, no.
Get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely, you can call Kid Capri right now. If I'm in an airport, yo, kid, yeah, you kid. No, I'm not.
And Kid Capri goes back so far, people don't even know. We got him on flyers. There was a flyer with Paradise where I think he had a group called the Throwdown 4 where they were battling for the name against Kid Capri.
Nah, he's a
Zulu.
No, he's amazing.
But I gotta, when you're putting Kid Capri up against Red Alert, it's not fair because there's no way that anyone could.
No, the impact Red Alert had on,
I mean, just rap radio, the mix show, and going back to the Zulu days. I mean, not for the fact personally, all that he did for us. Like Red would not play a record if he didn't like a record.
Correct.
And he did not like Step Into the AM.
Correct.
He did not?
He did not like it. He played it, but he didn't kill it.
Yeah.
Right.
But then he loved Gasface.
Correct.
And, also like the guy met him in the world. Oh, I met him in Latin Quarter, but when me and Rich got together, we made this little demo and we had the radio show. And Red knew about the radio show and he had the whole We Could Do This thing. We were calling our show We Could Do This right at the same time. And he said, hey, why don't you do a promo for me? So me and Rich went in, cut it a funky slice, delivered it to him, boom, played it the next week. That's why, he made us,
Shout out.
Shout out to Red Alert.
So we're not drinking on that one. Swiss Beats or Timberland?
It's funny because as soon as you say Swiss Beats or Timberland, all I hear in my head is Millie.
So you're saying Swiss Beats?
No, I don't know what that is.
Well,
No, I know he didn't do it. That's why I'm saying it's funny. That's how I laugh. No, it's Lil Wayne. It's Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah,
He's
it's
higher
Lil
than me right now. What are you talking about? I didn't ask nothing about
Jim
Lil
Johnson
Wayne.
made that, right?
Yeah. No, it's funny because
Bangladesh made
Bangladesh, but it's
that,
funny
yeah.
because every time, I don't know what it is. I know Bangladesh did the beat.
Yeah.
Every time somebody says Swiss Beats, that's the first thing I hear.
That's a weird
I know.
thing to...
well,
That's that leftover when you used to get high.
Yeah. I don't even know why. Like, I don't know why it is. Like, my brain goes to that.
Okay.
When I
3,
hear
2,
Swiss
other
Beats,
one
I think
go.
of Band from TV.
Oh, that's
Automatic.
Good. I like that. But we need you to answer though, sir. Swiss Beats or Timberland?
You still want me to answer after I fucked up that ability shit?
I fucked it up. I said all kinds of different producers.
No.
You want some more time?
No.
You ready?
What did you say?
Well, I mean, considering the fact that I'm trying to get Swiss Beats to loan Cool Herc speakers to the Hip Hop Museum, how can I not say Swiss Beats?
That's right. Okay. Which, by the way, is super floss that now that we know that.
Yo,
Swiss-
that's
That's a
fucking wild.
major flex. That's a major
That
flex.
is wild.
That's a major flex.
120 grand.
Major flex.
Which is great because it went.
That's what he got for?
Yeah, that was sold by
That's
Cool Herc,
cheap,
so it went
to be
right.
honest.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it really is. He actually beat out Nas and Peter Bitterbender.
Because that's American history, not just hip hop.
Dirt off
That
your
is
shoulder,
history.
though. Dirt off your shoulder. Bum, 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 bum.
Listen, you
That
gotta
is
make
the
a,
right
you gotta
producer,
make a
right?
choice, man. Yes.
Yeah, I gotta go with Swiss. Just because of the DMX shit and banned from TV and.
And y'all both went Swiss.
Hold on, what you think?
Timbo.
Oh, shit.
All right,
man.
drink.
He
We're
wanted
gonna have to drink. We're gonna have to
Everybody
drink.
drink. Put your drinks up.
Salud.
Salute.
Dale que tú puedes. I gotta
Tim's
go
made
pee
some
soon.
great records.
Of course.
Of
And they
course,
got
man.
verses coming
Tim?
back out. I spoke to Swiss personally when I was
Yeah,
Shout out
they
to
did
Steve
it-
Cameron,
they did
too.
that deal.
Shout out to
while we
Steve
was at
Cameron.
Trail Burgers.
EPMD
At Juicy.
or nice and smooth?
No.
I just
You
said
took the
it.
DJ.
my God.
I just said it. You
I don't
said
care.
you said
They gonna erase that shit from their mind.
You want to- No,
You ready?
go.
Mob Deep
Deep
or
or
MOP?
Fuck both of y'all right now. Just
Yeah.
FYI for the confusion. No, which one is it?
Mob Deep or MOP?
I mean, MOP, Queens, get the money.
MOP is Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah. Are you sure you're not
I said
drinking?
Mob Deep. I said Mob Deep.
No, you said MOP just
said
now.
MOP,
Sorry, sir.
Queens
Did
get
I?
money.
Yeah, we got it on camera. Sorry.
Yeah, you've been. That water is off the chain.
couple of shots, you know. Serch can't handle his liquor.
Osmosis is real for you, bro.
Wow. I really said MOP, huh?
Yes, you did.
You did.
Wow,
What
Freudian
would
slip.
it back?
No, Mob Deep.
Okay.
Mob Deep.
Okay.
Mob Deep, Brooklyn
As
gets
hard
the
as
money.
it
You're about to
is,
say.
I gotta go Mob Deep too.
You gotta go Mob Deep too?
Brooklyn's in the house.
I know you Brooklyn, see, we ain't gonna let you skip this one. We gonna let you skip this one. Because we wanna know.
MOP.
Okay, all right, cool.
Now
So
can we say that?
don't have to-
Time to
now,
EP.
gotta drink,
EPMD
though,
or
right?
Nice and Smooth?
Don't we have to drink on?
No, it's okay. Because
It's okay.
yeah, this one.
It's okay, times
EPMD or
two.
Nice and Smooth.
EPMD or Nice and Smooth.
Now this one is just.
that's-
Can we take a pass on this one?
Why?
Yeah, it's called Drink. Yeah.
Well,
You could
I'm
say
gonna have-
neither,
I'm gonna
and-
have to drink on this one. 'Cause
All
I
right,
could-
pass. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
pick one either.
Really?
Definitely
Yeah, I
no.
can't pick
Yeah,
one.
that's what we be trying to get y'all to do the all show.
Yeah, no. If this is your attempt to do this
Oh,
all
shit.
show, you failed miserably.
No. We be trying to get y'all to say,
No, I know.
you know,
Pass. or
whatever,
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
You're failing miserably.
Yes.
I'm gonna take this one.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was the toughest one.
Yeah.
EPMD Nice and Smooth.
Oh, yeah,
to
that
me.
was definitely tough.
Analog or digital? Should be. I would imagine it.
I mean, for me,
Yeah.
for whoever.
Pass?
pass.
Excuse me.
Pass.
Pass the mic.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. For me, again,
Okay.
just my perspective. I've been fortunate enough to work with some incredible artists.
All right.
One of them most recently, Bodie James, who, and I'll say it right now, and I'll stand on business, and I don't give a fuck who comes after me on this one. Bodie James' last 10 albums, not including the Harry Fraud record that he just put out, the Brictionary,
Okay.
his last 10 albums, there's not been a single MC ever in the history of the culture, ever, to put out 10 albums as strong as Bodie James. I stand on business. Not Jay, not Nas, I don't give a fuck who you can find. Bodie James, last 10 albums, and and if it wasn't for digital, it would never have happened.
So you're saying digital?
No, I'm
No,
saying
say
pass.
both. Yeah.
Because
Oh, you're saying Poe.
Yeah,
Okay.
pass.
this record on analog, crazy. That happened, that they found the reels is crazy.
And transfer to digital.
Crazy.
Right.
Which is analog. The fact that they found the reels
Crazy.
has to be analog.
Crazy.
So I get why he's saying
And the
both.
process
He's saying
that it
pass,
took
but you're really saying both.
to bake
right.
those
You
reels.
appreciate both.
to-
Yeah. Right.
Of course.
You said both.
Of course.
You said
both.
pass, but I get
yeah,
you
because
saying.
I'm
Okay,
saying
yeah.
pass because I can't pick one over the other.
It's both. How
And
about
like
you?
Nisha Nashe is about to be a problem.
How about you?
I gotta say analog just because it's the
I'm an
foundation
analog guy.
of rap
I'm an analog.
rap records. Like we have the original reels for Super Rapping and Funky 4 Rapping and Rocking the House, and That's the foundation.
And that's a great point.
Rich?
Great point.
Yeah, digital is making too many untalented people seem talented. So I'll go with analog.
Analog. Like I'm taking a shot to that.
Everybody taking a drink?
That's good.
There was something about analog gatekeeping that's okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, but up to a certain point.
Like,
Because there were so many great artists that couldn't get on.
Right.
Because analog was so expensive.
Great point.
Yeah.
And right now, so many artists that shouldn't be on are getting on because it's so
cheap.
inexpensive.
So it's so cheap.
But the drive you had to have to get in an analog studio, you had to be about that life.
About that life.
You know what I'm saying?
And it really took a lot of effort to get in the studio and make music.
Because I respected people that just had a vinyl record. I was like, I might not like this song, but man, I got respect for you.
Yo, bro, when I found that
to get
EFN,
to that
bro,
point,
when I
you know?
found that EFN K-Def looking for the perfect beat remix, bro, I damn near cried when I saw that 40. That shit is fire.
Okay, look, let's
That was
And it's important to preserve the history of analog and just the whole studio history. Like the Hit Factory donated the actual board, the actual studio to the Hip Hop Museum.
Wow.
We're gonna recreate it.
That's dope.
And we find all these 2-inch, like I found Roxanne Shante, Roxanne's Revenge, the original 2-inch
The reel?
master reel.
Wow.
For the promo that was on. I mean, it started on Mr. Magic. It wasn't even a record. It was broadcast on live on the air. We have like the 2-inch tape. So
I love all hip hop legendary studios. D&D.
Yeah,
Let's name a couple.
Chung King,
Green Street,
Calliope, Calliope. Well, Calliope was De La Soul.
Power Play and
Power
Kareem.
Play.
Power Play. I mean,
of
Power
course,
Play.
Power
Forget
Play.
it.
Yo,
Shout out to
Mr.
Eli
Rodriguez,
Tupac.
Doc Rodriguez on the board.
Well, down here we had Criteria, which ended up becoming Hit Factory, and it's Circle
And
House.
Hit Factory
You
was
can never
originally
forget
from
Circle
57th
House.
Street in New York City.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
I love these.
And Circle House is legendary out
Circle
here.
House will always be legendary.
Yeah.
Circle House will never die. Yeah, big
Who?
up, big
Quad Studios.
absolutely.
Me and Rich will give a
Pac's
shout
still
out to
running around
Funky
Quad right
Spice.
now to this day.
In control.
Pac's still there. His soul.
Pac is there?
Yeah, his soul is. You can feel Pac's soul when you walk in Quad. I don't know why.
Oh, Electric Lady.
Electric
Oh,
Lady,
yeah.
Jimi Hendrix shit.
Tell 'em about the cat.
There's the white cat in there.
Yeah.
Or the only cat.
one
I'm
thing-
allergic to all cats. The only cat.
You're not allergic to it?
Like, I don't know if I'm not allergic to it. It just never broke me out. Like I would walk through it and everyone would say that's Jimi Hendrix cat. Like his spirit.
Right.
Like okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And this
Diamond D or Buck Wild?
Oh,
Whoa.
fuck you.
This is the Dominican and the Colombian who write the questions right behind you. It's not me. We don't write these quick time line questions.
Fuck
Those
both
two.
of you.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, I got a great Buck Wild story. I know you love these stories.
B.I.T.T.
All right, so I'm working on the OC record. I signed him to Wild Pitch. And I just finished executive producing Illmatic.
Wow. Life Law.
So-
Life Law.
And the difference between making those records was, Nas made 11 songs.
Right.
And I
It was 10
believe
with an intro.
Right. And I'm maybe at 40 demos with DITC and N.O.R.E.
Good.
And we couldn't find the right record. And
I'm sorry to
Yeah,
cut you
no,
off.
no.
For the fans that's listening, they probably don't know that. When we say 40 demos, you are actually mentioning 40 records?
it's correct.
Okay, yeah, because I don't...
And he was, we're talking about analog, right? So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
in a studio, 2-inch reel, 40 songs
40 songs.
with DITC.
Recorded.
Buck Wild, OG, like Showbiz, all of them.
Okay.
Working.
All their production?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're bringing back records, and I'm like, nope.
Mm-hmm.
So our offices at Wild Pitch had a roof deck that we could go on to hang out. And at one point of making this record, I thought for sure either I was going to get thrown off the roof or O was going to get thrown off the
Right.
roof. One of my last meetings with these guys, they all came to see me. And I thought for sure
Was this DITC?
all of them.
Okay.
Buck, O, Show,
AG?
O, no, not A. But all of them. And they're furious. I'm fucking up their money.
Right.
O got to put out a record, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, look, you ain't got the record yet.
Right.
Trust me, I know what the record sounds like. You ain't got it. 2 days later, O comes in, and the receptionist downstairs at Wild Pitch was named Milky. Milky calls me. O's coming up. He ain't saying nothing to nobody. My man left his thing in my office.
Oh, God.
So I'm figuring this is when it's going to happen.
Right.
He pushes me out of the way and goes to my DAT player and opens the DAT player, puts a DAT in, closes the DAT, and I'm like, yo, what's it? And I'm like, yo, you come. Presses play. There's about 5 seconds of fucking emptiness. And I hear, boom,
Oh, shit.
Hey, yo, Stone, time's up. Boom, 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 time's up. You lack the minerals and my hair still right now, right? He turns me around and he says,
right now.
And he says to
You
me,
need to hear that record.
and he says to me, I understand now. Buck comes up and says, I understand now. And 2 weeks later, the whole album was finished.
Wow.
Fast forward, 30 years later, we're doing this thing called Top Shelf with Rostrum, right? I hadn't talked to Buck in at least 15 years. He pulls me over and he says, yo, I never thanked you for that A&R lesson. I said, of course you did. He says, no. Right after that happened, I was in the tunnel and I saw Big. And Big told me that was his favorite record. And I got to do Story to Tell because of that record. And if it wasn't for you, and it wasn't for you pushing us so hard on those 40 fucking records that we all thought should have been on Word Life, we never would have got to Word Life. I never would have got to Time's Up. So thank you.
Wow.
God damn, make some noise for that.
What's his answer? What's the answer?
Diamond D or Buck, for me, it's obvious. It's Buckwell.
Shout out to Buck, man.
Right.
And Diamond.
You
I'm
gotta
gonna have to pass.
DITC, man. Shout out to DITC.
Yeah, the whole DITC is crazy.
That crew is fucking amazing.
it's crazy.
Man.
Because he's saying both because he said pass.
Yeah, I gotta pass.
Let's drink.
So we still got to drink?
Drink.
Let's say both, not pass. I don't like
Yeah,
the
you gotta
pass,
say,
guys.
you gotta say both. Yeah.
Salud.
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 Oh, Dios mío. Dale pinga la cosa. Where we at? That's you, bro. That's New York sports stuff.
Well, yeah, now you want to steal my shit now.
I mean, I got no fucking horse in that race.
He got
no
nunca.
Yankees.
That's easy. I mean, for me, that's easy.
What's that?
Queens all day. Mets, Jets, Knicks.
Mets.
Good.
Wait.
I don't watch none of that.
Nah, yeah.
So it's passed.
Yeah, pass.
So it's a pass on him. So you
Nah,
got
he
to
doesn't watch it. I don't watch it. We don't care.
I like this one.
But isn't that technically a pass?
Nah.
Yeah, it's a pass. Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
Pass. Yeah, that's actually a pass.
But there's no
That's
drink.
not both.
So you got to drink.
No, it's not both. It's a pass.
Oh, I
That's
see.
the way you
That's
should
a
use
pass.
pass.
That's a pass.
Oh, I
You don't
see.
fuck
How
with
many passes do you get, though?
0.
Is it unlimited passes?
No. It's cool because you're not drinking, so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Designated
Had you been drinking, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Flex?
Funk Flex?
Oh, yeah.
You can take this one. I'm sorry. Rewind that. Go ahead. You can take this one. DJ.
Flex or Clue?
We should start with you. Let's start
Yeah,
with
we're
you.
gonna start
Flex?
with you.
Really?
Yeah.
More than Clue?
Yeah.
You said, would you say
Flex
Flex?
could DJ.
Okay.
Oof.
Clue doesn't DJ.
No, I get it.
Flex could DJ. And he's Jamaican.
I mean, there he just
And there it is.
no, we get it. He's like Leonard Mercy.
That was hard. Okay.
I'll stay with my brother, Daddy Rich, Flex.
Okay.
Queens get the money.
Okay.
Clue.
You got to drink.
Well,
Queens get the money.
I mean, they both.
Shout out to Clue.
They both did a lot of big things.
Yeah. Big up Clue.
All right,
My nigga.
New Jack City or Juice?
For real?
Not for me.
That's
New York.
So that's
Nah,
both.
man, what
That's
you mean?
both.
That's hip hop. That's not New York.
both. That's both.
That's hip hop.
That's when you was hating on New York.
Yo,
I never hated on New York.
Yeah, you do. You still
Y'all
can.
were hating on us. We never hated on y'all. Y'all hating on us.
we didn't hate on
I don't
Miami.
think. I don't
No,
think
on
we
the
never.
South. On the rest, we're not going to get into this argument. Listen, you remember the story you just told? When I went and then they put Two Live Crew before. Ahí empezó la cosa.
Yeah, but mira, I didn't understand. No comprende.
Exactly. You were like,
No, I don't
Sir,
comprende.
please let him know we never hated him.
No, of course not. We just didn't
Don't listen to this
There's a
guy,
difference. Wait, there's a difference between hating and not
I didn't say
understanding.
hating. I didn't say hating.
You did. You just said you hated on us. We got it on tape. We got it on tape. Mentirosa. that. We got North David also.
I'll stand on hating. It is hating. It is hating.
We didn't hate. We didn't understand. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's
a
I like
cultural
that.
difference.
I like that. Break it
We
down.
didn't hate.
New York locked out everybody else in the
Because
country.
we didn't
hip-hop wise.
understand.
It comes in out now.
Okay, great story,
didn't
but that's
understand.
but
It's not a great story. It's
No,
just
I'm
what
saying
it is.
that is the story, but I'm saying it happened though. It happened.
It did not happen. But I'm just saying to you that it wasn't based on a hate. It wasn't like you did anything to cause hate. We just didn't understand.
It depends. When you hear people from New York saying, "Oh, y'all Bamas, y'all this, y'all that," that is hate.
That's not
That wasn't just
understanding.
New York though, calling
But
y'all
yeah,
Bama.
no, but and first
The
of
whole
all,
country called y'all Bama.
Most of the country are
excuse me,
what would be considered as Bamas.
just FYI, it wasn't Bamas, it was bumpkins.
No.
It's different.
No,
Called
we
you
heard a
bumpkins.
lot of things. A lot of things.
No, but the point was, it wasn't because of hate. It was because of lack of understanding. We weren't around y'all.
I mean,
so if
we
don't
can
around-
articulate this way different
Of
now than we did
course.
back then.
If I'm the same at 24 than it was at 54,
Right.
I wasted 30 years of my life.
I'll just say this, and this is a whole other podcast.
Y'all had some bad bitches.
Hip hop
though,
would be
let's
different
clear.
now if New York would have opened up a little bit more at a certain time.
Absolutely.
Hip hop would be totally different.
That is 100%.
Because
fact.
everybody,
And we did. Look where we at now.
I raised my hand.
I don't know what he's saying. I can't stand
And you were like, I can't wait to a record when that guy goes. You're like, he's popping.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about right now.
But
we did let it up, and when
But look now.
But look at how beautiful things are right now.
Look how horrible this music is right now.
Get out of here, bro. Get out.
You don't want, now you don't want to claim.
That's not the way. That's
Now you
not
don't
the way
wanna
this
claim
went.
it.
That's not the way this went.
I know.
That's not the way history.
Listen, you're right. History is going to see it. Thank you very much. History is going to see it a different way, right? History is going to see it as hate, right? I got it. I get it.
Or gatekeeping. Let's not call it hate. Let's call it.
I think that's
a
better
version of gatekeeping.
For me, at this point in my life, I would just prefer to use different adjectives to describe shit. And for me, it was just different. Like, we didn't get it. Like, what we loved about it was the things that we understood, right? Going out, having a good time, being around people, that part, eating good, drinking good, smoking good, feeling good. Everything else didn't make sense to us. Like the beats, and it didn't make sense to us because we didn't come from that. It was just different.
Right.
It wasn't hate, it was a lack of understanding. The thing about New Yorkers, and this is the one thing that's just about New Yorkers, we come from a place that's so siloed and so like we don't understand how you don't get around on a subway. We don't understand how you don't know every street in the 5 boroughs. It's foreign to us, right? Because we're so siloed. So when we come down here and you're like, oh, I don't know how to get there from here. We're like, what the fuck you talking about, you fucking bumpkin? You just take the blah-da-da to the blah-da-da and you just get there.
Bumpkin?
No, I'm just saying. I'm not talking to him a bumpkin. But that's how it was. But no. But
flashbacks. He's like, wait a minute.
Mario
I don't need any of your people coming from Hialeah right now. I don't need none of your Hialeah people running up in here. No, but that was the whole thing. Like, I was just explaining this. I was explaining this to my man from Jersey, right? My man lives.
Jersey had the same issue.
Yes.
With New York.
Yes. My man from Jersey City. Brody, my man from Jersey City, which is 5 minutes from fucking Newark, doesn't know how to get through Newark. I'm like, yo, you're fucking 67 years old. How the fuck is that possible? You live here your whole fucking life. How do you not know how to get from this restaurant in Jersey to the fucking Trip Hotel in downtown Newark? It's 5 blocks. It's crazy. Because when we were coming up in New York, whether it was rich or you knew how to take the D train to the A, to the C, to the 2, to the 6. You knew every block.
Right.
So it was just a different mindset. And I'm not calling you a bump.
No. Like I said, this is a whole other podcast we could do. We're not going to do it now.
No. Because when we worked together, when we worked records together, I trusted you on everything.
Of course, yeah.
I would never question you. I would never come into another city and be like, oh, y'all doing... It's crazy.
Right.
I love that shit.
What about Juice?
What about Juice?
I said both. I said both. Yeah, I said both. Drink.
Oh, no, that's what I'm sorry, because he said it was not a...
New Jack City.
It was a New York thing. When it's a hip-hop...
New York, it's a hip-hop thing. New Jack City.
Juice is what made me want to really
New
DJ.
Jack City or Juice What was it like being on set of Juice, by the way?
Yeah, I gotta hear this because that made me buy my turntables.
Hey, yo, that's some heavyweights, man. You going against fucking Daddy Rich and.
The funny thing is, me and Scratch was supposed to battle that day.
On set?
On set. But he went to Buffalo. So that'd have been kind of crazy. But the records that we used in the real records, they didn't get the sample clearance. So
like the battle session, that whole
everything
thing?
was overdubbed.
But were they really trying to, like, was the audio really connected?
Yeah.
They were really DJing?
We were really battling.
Wow.
Yeah, we were really battling. But Scratch had to go to Buffalo that day, so he couldn't make it. And for Omar Epps, the Pump Me Up part, Scratch did that. And I think the other practice thing, I think Classic Man did that. That's who plugged us in with the movie.
Wow.
All Superman.
So we saying Juice?
No,
I'm
said
saying
both.
Juice.
I'm saying both.
Both?
Yo, New Jack City was my fuck. Yo,
New Jack City's off the chain.
Yo, New Jack City was off the chain. And I was uptown when that shit really happened. When they took over that building, that shit, yeah.
So we drinking now?
Yes.
I think we are.
Yes, salud. L'chaim. L'chaim, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna answer this.
You're gonna let me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for allowing me to do this.
Just taking my life.
My name is not just on the title, but okay, it's okay, man. NWA or Wu-Tang? This is a highly debated. Nah, it's not even highly debated.
It really isn't that highly debated, but so
I think it's a terrible pair up. To be honest, I don't like the pair. I don't like pairing these two.
Here's the third base story to that. I believe, and again, my perspective, only my perspective, based on talking to Dre and talking to Ice Cube. If there was no Cactus album, the production on the first NWA album would be different.
Really?
Because Dre and Cube, they were so impressed with the production on the Cactus.
1 second.
They came to our album party to show us love.
The first
Cactus.
album was Bomb Squad involved, right?
This one?
Our album.
The first album.
Sam Sever did the majority of it.
Prince Paul.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he
And
loved,
Prince Paul,
but Dre and Cube loved Sam's production. Like that particular, like they loved, if you listen to that first NWA album, them snares, them drums, they sound a lot like.
Which is the Ice Cube story that he was looking for. Right.
Sam.
Okay.
Right.
But that's Sam denies that story, that no one ever contacted him. That it might have been something where Bomb Squad wanted,
you know what?
maybe
So
Lior was just playing games.
maybe Lior didn't make the call, right? But that's
Elroy
what
Cohen gets the gas face.
Right, Elroy gets the Cohen. But the point is, that's why Cube came to New York.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether
I think there's legitimacy in that.
Whether Lior called Sam or not,
it's on that.
right.
But obviously,
That's
Cube
why he
made
came.
the trek.
Cube, he came to meet with Sam Sever.
Yeah.
But they sonically, they made a lot of innovations and followed more of the East Coast lead on production. Like when Africa Islam went out to West Coast with Ice-T, he brought that whole,
Six
East
in the
Coast
morning.
aesthetic, like the beats. You can hear the influence there. East Coast. Well, you can see the LA posse coming back to New York and bringing the West Coast to New York. So people sleep on LA Posse and Islam, like laying the foundation.
Which is Zulu.
For NWA. And when you look at what Serch is saying, you see an East Coast influence. Which, like Dante Ross would tell us, this NWA shit is incredible.
Which is kind of described in their movie. I
remember
NWA
going
movie.
to the World and hearing Dope Man for the first time and thinking like, what the fuck is this? This is crazy. Sounded so big in the world. Dope man. Yo, that shit sounded crazy.
It was incredible, man.
Wu-Tang or NWA?
It's a bad pairing.
It's a very bad
I don't
pairing.
like the pairing.
Yeah, I got to pass on that.
Because I think generationally, it's not the right pairing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both so important in both.
Yeah.
Hugely
I'm gonna pass.
hugely
I'm also
important.
gonna pass. I'm gonna pass.
pass.
Wu-Tang.
Drink. Everybody drink.
Okay.
To Wu-Tang.
Almost knew he was going to answer that. I read his whole guess. I knew it.
I actually am not mad at that.
And there it is.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Juanji, you're not ready?
What's my count?
Prince Paul or Large Pro?
Oh.
Oh, cue up.
I'm 99% sure I know what Rich and Pete are going to say.
All right, Nostradamus.
I'm 99% sure.
But what are you going to say?
Right.
Spit that shit out, man.
I'm waiting for y'all. Like I'm just playing my poker face.
Yeah, bro, you can't do that. You can't
Why?
leave
Why can't I
the
do
other
that?
witnesses.
Okay, so Large Professor.
Okay.
I got to pass on that one. I can't.
You and your passes, man.
Yeah, no.
Let's say both.
front,
Say
yeah.
both.
Both.
Large Professor.
I'm surprised.
Rich said that.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. No, I'm surprised. I thought you would say Prince Paul.
So maybe two outweigh one.
person.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No, as a
you're right.
producer.
Okay, no drinking. No drinking.
I think
you want
That's fair enough.
I'll do it. ODB or Bismarck?
Wait. You got a drink.
No, two outweigh one.
Oh, I see.
We just changed the rules in the
Yeah,
middle.
we
We just do that. Like,
we just
bam,
go-
Oh, it's your show. You can do it if you want.
ODB or Bismarcky?
Bismarck.
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 Okay.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Coogee Rap
Both of them.
or
To both,
Schoolie D?
absolutely.
Fuck you.
G-Rap.
Yeah, I gotta go G. Queen
G-Rap.
Queens get the money.
Yeah. G-Rap?
But Schoolie D is an original.
Love this one. Ye or Pharrell?
Pharrell.
Yay.
Pharrell.
Wait, who said yay?
Oh, 2-1 wins, right? New rule.
Oh, yeah, I was about to ready to drink for it.
Okay. Queen Latifah or MC Light? Not pass, say both. If you're gonna pass, do not say pass, say both.
Yeah, if you're going to say both, say
Have you ever
don't
seen
say
the Paper Thin video?
Of course.
What you gonna say? Just paper thin.
Who's doing this? Do you look closely?
You're in there?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, me and Serch used to show up all the time. We're in the top billing video.
His father.
In the top
yeah,
billing
I'm in the top
video?
billing video. So his
Milk
father.
is chilling.
Yeah.
So
So his father.
Marcy Pool.
So his father worked, he was at Bishop Ford High School. They had the dopest Letterman jackets, black, red, and white leather sleeve. His dad, for my birthday, had made an MC Serch Bishop Ford that said GWB for Go White Boy. and I wore that shit in the Milk and the Audio 2 video.
Kind of.
Yo, that's iconic.
But you got to check out the light video because
I played a fucking Italian muscle boy. That's what fucking
With
Lionel
soul.
Martin told me. With soul. I need you to be an Italian like Guido with
the
soul.
description is wild.
Yeah.
An Italian muscle boy with soul.
Soul, yeah. That's what Lionel Martin told me to do in the video.
That's a wild description.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Kind of fire.
Yeah.
But that,
Wait. So,
this is
so
light
it's
and
both.
Latifah, this is
So we
tough
all
one.
said both?
Yeah, I used to DJ for
Really?
like we're in a group together as kids. So
Like.
All right, drink.
All right. Drink.
Yo,
L'chaim.
cheers to you for that. That's legendary shit.
Rich's neighborhood got crazy history.
Podcast or radio?
Podcast or radio? Mm-hmm. Podcast.
Podcast.
I mean, it's like the same thing, kind of, but you could curse. So I say podcast, right?
Yes. There you go.
Damn, we're on the same page. Shit.
Public Enemy or Gangstar?
Rest in peace, the guru.
Like rest in peace, Guru and Premier, but just Public Enemy is so important.
Yeah.
I think Premier and Guru would say Public Enemy.
That's
to
an
be honest with
unfair.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah, Guru
exactly.
would definitely say
That's
that.
my default on these type of questions.
Yeah.
I think that the person would say this, the people, the predecessors. You know?
And I mean, we basically saw them from the beginning.
And we saw the world because of them. I mean, literally
Public
saw
Enemy.
the world because of Public Enemy. We opened for them for damn near 2 years.
I mean, Clark Kent, he got the test press of Rebel Without a Pause to play on our show from Red. And, you
Yep.
just saw, like, that record.
Yeah, that was
record
literally-
alone, if they just put out that record at the Latin Quarter.
And it was crazy.
got it.
The year before, because, Yo Bum Rush's show, people tend to forget that Yo Bum Rush's show was the first album. It did not have that. It had my 98
Didn't have the
Oldsmobile.
impact.
No.
Right.
I remember them getting booed off stage at the Latin Quarter
Because
for
it
the
was
album release
new.
party.
It was new. It was a
It was not
revolutionary.
only new, but it was
different.
Yeah, and nobody was checking for it.
Right.
And then a year later, they came with that, and it was a wrap. Like that record literally became the stick-up record in the Latin Quarter. Like when
The
that record,
stick-up record?
Yeah, like when that record came up, you took off your because Decepticons.
Tax? Which record are you talking about?
No, Rebel Without a Pause.
said that-
I thought you meant
Public Enemy incited people to jacking people. That's wild.
Yes!
No, I can see
Yo,
it.
dudes were
I can
getting
see it,
snubbed.
But that's wild.
Public Enemy was-
Public
Yo,
Enemy is
Yo, so I was, fuck all that. In the Latin Quarter, fuck all that.
Let's get
The
Ron the
original,
Public Enemy.
the original 50 Cent,
Yeah,
his
I
brother
can see that.
A-Rock, all the Decepticons. When that record would go Vicka, and I was dancing with like ICU.
Just the siren.
Yeah, yo.
Like Saint called
It
that.
sounds chaotic too.
50
yeah,
50
Saint called that to kill the white man noise.
50 Cent.
Yeah, that's what he called it.
50 Cent would tap me. The original 50 Cent would tap me, go get off the floor. Search, get off the floor. Go to the ball. Bap, bap, Vicka. Yes! Yo, it was a rap.
That and Ghost Stetzer probably.
Yep,
two
Ghost
records.
Stetzer and Ultramagnetic.
Wow.
And Top Billing.
Top billing.
Top billing would do it.
This is a terrible era.
It was.
No, it was the great era.
But
It was the
the
fucking
era
greatest
where it was
era ever.
It was
Yeah, you know
fixed.
what I mean by that.
It was the greatest era ever. I would go back to that
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Search and Light video. Look, they pulled you up immediately.
Yep, that's me right there. That's me.
Right there. They
Oh shit, that is
that's-
you. Look at you.
Yeah, look at me.
Young you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Looking
funny
like
thing is,
Cousin
I'm the
Vinny
same
right
way there than I am now. Like literally, I'm in the best shape of my life.
Shout out to Serch for being in trade. Shout out to my man Easy AG and the Cold Crush, who's the most healthy man in hip hop. So like, the health in hip hop.
Oh yeah, we need
fine.
that. Chanchy.
Where you at?
Oh, I lost my shit.
Uh,
Oh, there we go.
yeah. MC Hammer or Vanilla Ice?
Oh man.
I mean,
You know,
real-
honestly, I'm gonna go with MC Hammer. If I had to pick two, MC Hammer.
I gotta go Hammer because
Because you can say what you want about Hammer, but Hammer legitimately like cared about the culture.
I think
He
Hammer's a legend,
cared.
bro.
Like one of the things that I love that Chuck D's wife used to say all the time was Chuck D's wife would always say that Hammer's the only rap artist that plays in my house.
I respect Hammer like a motherfucker, bro. To be honest with you, I think.
Well,
I mean Hammer
with
does
that
have the
statement, man.
dance
Because
dance
she didn't
influence.
play hip hop in the house. She wouldn't even play Public Enemy, but she'd play MC Hammer.
Meaning
Meaning that for her, Hammer's music and how he
was safe for the kids to hear.
and just it felt like music that the whole family could enjoy.
I remember Hammer said some shit like, "Yo, Oaktown 357 sold more than Third Base. Third Base went double wood."
Yeah, double wood. We went double wood.
And let's not forget, Hammer was a real ass
said
dude too.
Well, his brother,
He had some real ass shit going
his
on.
brother was
Louis
real-
Burrell, yeah. Louis Burrell was a real
Hammer,
dude.
Hammer said y'all went double wood.
Double wood. Yeah, he said we went double wood.
That's where that term came
He said
from. We all use it. We still use it to this day. Double wood
Oaktown
none.
357 sold more records than Third Base ever did. We went double wood.
Shout out to MC Hammer.
Yeah, man. Shout out to MC.
And y'all still picking
And the Holy
MC Hammer.
Ghost Boys, who got booed off the stage of the Latin Quarter.
Who's that?
That was his group.
His
New
group?
Music Seminar, I think it was 87.
87.
He performed at Latin Quarter. Paradise will tell you.
Yep.
Wow.
This got real.
But no remorse for Vanilla Ice? Just
Fuck that. I picked Vanilla Ice.
Hey, drink.
I think Vanilla Ice
You
still
pick
out there
Vanilla
on
Ice?
the, on the
Yeah,
tour.
fuck it. Yeah, I'll pick.
All right. Yeah, you want to drink? Drink. Go ahead, drink. Yeah, fuck it. Go, drink.
I actually think Vanilla Ice actually cares about hip hop as well.
Is his name Pappy Van
You don't think so?
Robert Van Winkle.
Robert
Yeah.
Van Winkle?
You don't think so?
All I know is I heard.
You don't think so?
You know I used to love you, right? Like I
You don't think so?
love you.
You don't think he cares about
You know how
hip
long
hop?
we go back?
Yeah. You don't think so?
I heard that Vanilla Ice has a house that's an entrance to another house. So,
Then,
you know. I mean,
whoa,
you got-
I don't know what that
It
means.
means he got a lot of big houses, you know, and he got a lot of cars.
So no, he doesn't care about hip hop?
Okay, we made friends with Hammer. Let's make friends with Ice.
No, that's fine. You want to toast?
He's
vanilla ice?
not my friend anymore.
I'm just saying. No.
Serch
I'm
is
just
not my
saying.
friend
No.
If I'm toasting or whatever.
No, we're toasting. No,
Let's
because he
all
picked vanilla.
reconcile all problems.
Yeah.
No, it's not a problem. I don't have a problem with any human being anymore. Like literally, I have no problems with anyone.
It sounds like
I
you
have
got a
no
problem, Serch.
But you really don't think that he ever cared about hip hop?
Oh, absolutely not.
Really?
Absolutely
You think
doesn't.
that was all a gimmick?
I believe that he saw an opportunity and he took it.
Really? You don't think he ever cared as a human being about
I
the
don't
culture?
think he understood what the culture was.
Yeah, that part.
And you still
Because
picked
my
it.
beef in Miami is
Yeah,
that
because he wants to drink. He's feeling good.
No, I thought he was
He's in the
legit,
vibe.
man.
He's with his
like,
man.
fuck it.
The legendary DMX's DJ LS1 is here. You know what I'm saying? LS1's in the building. Yo, he's having a good time. He's fucking nice people.
Hold on, we got another legendary DJ Clips in the fucking
DJ.
building.
Fucking Fat Beats. Fucking Fat Beats.
building.
Legend. Yo, a lot of fucking legends in here, man.
Wait, but hold on. Now,
All right, so we saying that he doesn't care about hip hop.
let me ask you though, in fairness, because
I really did like
you can't just let that search word just be. You don't think Vanilla Ice cared about hip hop at one point?
Not even a little bit? A little
A
bit?
little bit.
Tiny bit?
I mean, when that record came out, I think the first time we heard Ice Ice Baby, we were on that Detroit station.
I saw Serch dancing a little bit to it. He was like, ding, ding, ding,
the
ding,
Detroit
ding,
station
ding,
where you
ding.
had to go all the way up on a building like the 60th floor. That station in
I'm kidding,
Detroit.
I'm kidding.
And
You did.
the one thing about that record is the sample is dope. That's something that we would have flipped.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
David Bowie shit.
No, super
So
dope
in a
sample.
way, you're kind of mad, like, he grabbed that shit.
But the thing was, he didn't take credit for it, which makes him super whack. 'Cause
He didn't
did
take
that whole
credit
interview.
for?
Sample. He said, the David Bowie shit goes
Oh,
doom,
yeah,
doom, doom,
yeah.
digga, doom,
That
doom.
was terrible.
My shit goes
Ding,
doom,
ding,
doom,
ding,
doom.
dagga,
Ding,
dagga.
ding, ding.
Yeah. No, that was whack. That
You
was whack
wouldn't
as fuck.
care.
Yeah. But again, if we're talking about the same way we were talking about Pac and Big, as a young man, maybe he was just ignorant to
And that's
the way
fine.
that went.
But again, my perspective. When you show growth, right?
I was like, I'll have to quote Chubb Rock. Because Chubb Rock,
The great prophet,
the
Chubb
best
Rock.
Chubb Rock
verse
is a
ever
fucking
in the
prophet,
song
bro.
Kick
Great
Him in the
prophet.
Grill. You know what he said?
Kick him in the grill.
Yeah. He said he could wrap his lips around something.
Right.
I'll leave it at that.
And we'll leave it.
I mean, don't leave it at that. Cause
no.
Weird.
We're not gonna,
It's weird now. It's weird now. When you leave it at that.
no. But the point is,
It got weird.
again,
Listen, Chubb Rock's verse on that record is one of the most underrated verses of
of
all time.
without question. But
Shout out to Chubb Rock, one of the
Shout
most
out to
underrated
Chubb Rock.
MCs of all time.
Brooklyn So I just think that like when you look at, again, my perspective, I owe this culture everything. Like, not just like I would be selling shoes at Nordstrom. Like I would not have a life.
Right.
I would not have Echo. I wouldn't have had Nuvo. Nothing. I would have been a shoe salesman. Period. End of conversation.
Or a chicken delivery guy.
Or a chicken delivery guy. I would have been delivering pizza. I'd deliver chicken. I had no skills.
Right.
Hip hop gave me my life. Pop Goes the Weasel was such an important record for us, not because we wanted a pop record. There was an intent to that record. Hip hop got turned into hip hop the second a record was #1 on the pop chart. But don't skid on the heart that got it started in the ghetto. Let no one forget about the hard part. Now in 91, we got a new band, a new brand looking like the same old Clan, same old Thieves of Skeeve. We got to make sure the real rappers got to endure. Why score more points in one period? Appearing in complex structure like a pyramid. Bro, we cared that much that we were like, let's take the most obvious record, go to pop stations, and tell them about 30 fucking records they
Put it in
should be
their face.
playing.
Right.
Fuck us.
Right.
Forget about us. We would come with Daylight. We would come with N.O.R.E. We would come with Black Sheep. We would come with Queen Latifah. We'd come with Moni in the middle. We'd come with Chubb Rock, Special Ed. We'd go to the Z100s. We'd go to the BZZs in fucking Pittsburgh. We'd go to Kiss FM in LA. Biggest pop stations in the world. We're #2, #1, most requested, and be like, here's about 30 fucking records you should be playing. Don't play Marky Mark. And I mean, I love Mark Wahlberg. Here's 100 other records.
All right.
And they're like, here's Vanilla Ice.
But also, we respect all the people who came before us, who laid the whole foundation. I mean, when we did Rap Mania in 1990, we're with Herc, Love Bug, Starsky,
Right.
and all the Rush
Rakim,
groups, Rakim,
Rick,
everybody. At one point, that was, and they considered that the 15th anniversary of hip hop in 1990.
Wow.
Saying that it started in 75, like Bambaataa,
Right.
Herc, Van Silk, and them got together. They said 75 is the starting date.
The industry and break.
You know,
Yeah, yo, and so it's like, yo, so how you gonna have a dude who's like, and then he says he's from one place, but he's from another. Like, you know, you talked about it like a little while ago. We were talking about like, you know, really repping where you're from. There was no authenticity there. And then like 4 years later, he's got dreads and he's trying to make a record about culture. Come on, man, stop that bullshit, man. Like just, it's because, and at that point, there was so much great hip hop out.
Right.
Redman, Method Man, Wu-Tang, Nas, Biggie, most just came out. Anyway, I just think that like there was a level of credibility that just he never ascended to. And great, he hit a lick. Great, good for him.
it's kind of all worth it with the Suge Knight story.
Yeah.
I forgot. Hung off the roof.
Yeah.
Threw him off a balcony. Got his
Balcony,
publisher.
And he tells that story.
Allegedly.
So Vanilla Ice is worth it just for that story.
That
for
story
me.
keeps changing even to now.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, for me, when you look at like artists, right, and you look at artists overall, you want them to have some credibility, right? Some integrity when they do what they do.
So let me.
And I'll leave it at that.
So now that you're leaving it at that, MGK or Insane Clown Posse?
Oh, MGK all day.
MGK?
MGK.
MGK.
I don't listen to none of that shit.
And there it is. And there it is.
Best answer.
I think we gotta take a shot just because that was just.
Yo.
Yeah,
That was just.
yeah.
That was just.
There you go.
We might have to add a drinking segment to I don't fuck with none of that shit.
Actually, I think that should be official, like a ref with a whistle moving forward. I don't fuck with none of that.
Yeah, I don't fuck with none of that shit. It's a part of the show now. Jesus.
All right.
That's straight from Beverly Road.
Eminem or Busta Rhymes?
Hey, man. You took my words out of my mouth, bro.
Oh, man.
That's what she said.
You took my shit first.
Nah, man. You know
Eminem or Busta Rhymes?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I both. Both.
Yeah, we figured that.
Wow. Bloody road.
Drink.
Wait, let's ask you first.
Oh, no, we're not done.
It's tough for me because Rosenberg and Eminem were donating one of the Rap Boy costumes to the Hip Hop Museum.
Man, you got-
so it's hard
you got-
for me. Yes, I have a little like.
You was the
Guy got horses and dresses.
I'm conflicted right there. You
He's
know.
like, well, because.
But you know, I think your boy Jonathan Mannion has some Buster's dreads that might end up in the museum.
He does.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you got dreads from Jonathan Mannion from Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, so
I'm
gonna have
Rosenberg.
to tie. I'm gonna say a tie there.
Okay, no, he gonna fuck it
What's
up.
a tie? There's no ties in
Busta
drink.
Rhymes.
Okay, all right.
Drink more.
We're not drinking. We're not
Okay,
drinking.
okay.
What do you mean we're not drinking?
More versatile.
No, because he
First of all, you cannot say anything. You're the sober guy, and we're all gonna be like, yeah. You're
That's
like,
exactly right. I want to have fucking fun. I want to watch y'all drunk
Go for
motherfuckers.
it.
A Tribe Called Quest or Brand Nubian?
Fuck you.
Yeah. Whoa. That'll get the word.
I love this guy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I love
this guy.
No, it's okay.
Jesus. I mean, Tribe, Queens.
Gotta say Tribe.
Tribe.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So before
And it's
we
really
move on-
hard too because
Okay.
That's what she said,
Let's
but
give.
it's
Let's
really
give.
not-
Let's.
I mean, almost-
Let's give that to the top, man. All time. Salute.
Hell yeah, bro. Well deserved.
well done.
Wait, I got this one.
No, of course you do.
Dr. Dre or RZA.
Any criteria?
And if you got a story.
Wow.
Any criteria?
And you can't answer first. It goes to you.
God bless you. God bless you. Now I know you love me.
I'm gonna have to try to say a tie.
Okay. Oh shit.
Jesus, Chris, you answer first.
RZA.
Okay.
So now I'm the tiebreaker, right?
Yeah. He's the tiebreaker.
So be it.
Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre.
So we don't do
I don't think we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one. You got it, buddy.
Loyalty or respect?
My perspective.
No problem.
The way my father raised me, may he rest in peace,
Rest in peace.
is you cannot have loyalty without respect. You can have respect without loyalty, but you can't have loyalty without respect. So I'm going to say loyalty.
I would say rest in peace, Merv. I'll go along with Serch on that one.
I'll go along with it.
Well,
Me and Ian, we're going to take a shot because we believe that it's both. We always believe it's both.
respect for your pops, man. Love your pops, bro.
Yeah, man. Because you can respect somebody but not be loyal to them.
Absolutely.
But you can't have loyalty without respect. The one thing all of you guys have, all of y'all, like, because I've been around all of y'all, is you have loyalty and the respect is built in. And that's why we came here first.
So let me ask.
Thank you, bro.
Hold
on. Thank you guys for coming here first.
Goddamn. Let me ask you real quick. You, Serch. Let me ask you about rape.
Whoa. Whoa.
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Rappers against phony
we still
entertainers.
See, go ahead. What am I talking about?
Rappers against phony entertainers.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
No.
So I'll tell
That's your work here.
So there's two stories. There's two great stories about that, right? So what he's talking about, for those who don't know,
Right.
on my record, Pop Goes the Weasel,
Right.
I said, I got a squad, right? A bunch of entertainers started rape, rappers against phony entertainers.
Right.
The label called me, especially a couple of female executives, and said, you cannot say rape on a record.
Right.
I said, I didn't say rape on a record.
Right.
I said rappers against phony entertainers on a record.
Right.
I use an acronym, RAPE. They're like, yeah, but you don't spell it out, pardon.
Right.
But you don't spell it out. I said, I don't have to spell it out. I explained it on the next line. So fast forward 1,000 years, I'm the first MC ever to perform at Epcot
Epcot in Orlando?
in Orlando.
Look at you.
I'm doing the Food and Wine Festival. It's a nice bag. And they're like, we need you to do one thing. You can't say rape. I said, no problem.
Yeah.
I said, I started a group called Rappers Against Phony Entertainers, right? So that's A. So that's what, and that's always been one of those things that when people hear it, they feel some type of way until I explain it, right?
Right. That's exactly why I asked the question that way.
Right. No, so people feel some type of way.
Everybody was like, what?
But the second thing was, the second thing though that was really critical on this, right? Derelicts of Dialect. Speak came up with this idea of us being disheveled, right? Looking like we're fucking derelicts. The label said, nah, that can't be the album cover. This could be a promo cover, can't be the album cover.
They're talking about this specific cover?
I said, why? He said, it'll turn away your
Come on,
new-
Buju
No,
Banton. You just fucking up my chair.
I'll get you, I promise
That's
I'll
what
get you.
Buju did. He just threw my shit all over the place.
So,
He takes it serious.
no,
He takes his memorabilia serious.
This is my stuff.
I'm sorry.
Yes, he takes
So, but the label said it'll scare away the impulse buyers. Album went gold in 30 days.
Wow.
So there was two things, like, and you know, when I hear like the Kanyes of the world, or I hear the Drakes of the world, or I hear the Kid Cudis of the world, and when they say the label told me and I did blank, I'm like, good for you, because labels don't know.
Right.
They like to believe, to play it safe, like they know, but they don't know.
Right.
The artist has to have the intuition. He had this intuition, and it was great, that we should be derelicts of dialect. We should be homeless. We were in makeup for, I don't know how long it was, 5 or 6 hours.
Dude from Saturday Night Live did the makeup for us.
And it was great. And we're playing in the cold and like having a good time and enjoying like the moment of like that, right? But to know that this dude who is the senior VP of marketing and, oh, I'm the big guy getting this, whatever, and we can't put this record out, went gold in 30 days. Now what you got to say? How about you go do your job?
Wow.
And we had a number one, and we almost had a number one pop record. with a record that said we started rape, rappers against phony entertainers.
Jesus Christmas.
And it played on fucking pop stations all over the country.
And we pretty much broke up in the middle of it.
Right. At the peak.
Well, because they were trying to push us.
You just had rape.
They were trying to push. They were trying to push us more pop. They were trying to put us on all the pop stations. We would show up on the pop station and kind of flip on the host or whatever.
Yeah.
And
not even the host.
like,
We just flip on the program.
The whole,
like, here's
the whole format.
Yeah, we're like, yo, play this. Like when we were out in 91, Can I Kick It was huge. Your fucking Black Sheep, Choice is Yours.
And they weren't playing that shit.
No.
So we were like, and even like we were gold. It was so hard to go gold back then. Like people don't even realize.
No,
like,
gold
they were
was
not allowed to
platinum
go
back
red.
then,
Tribe used to open for us.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
And now it's like, yo, why? These are hit records. And they're like, we're going to play some bullshit. But now, Hot 97 is now, I think, technically a pop station.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've grown in such a way, and the culture has grown in such a way where the things that we had to worry about no longer are worries, right? The challenges that we had to have are no longer challenges. And the thing that's so funny is 35 years later, when I talk to like, Big Daddy Kane and EPMD and Public Enemy and all the groups that are out and they're touring, they talk about how much fun they're having on the road now. They're talking about like being this age and like enjoying being on the road and having fans that are this age who come out and they are
It's
like,
a freedom thing though as well.
bro,
It's being free.
You
to-
perform
to
at
do
8 o'clock now.
and you're home by 11,
12,
right? Yeah, you're home by 11. Yeah.
I like
You know what I'm
it.
saying? Yeah, I like it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you guys, KMD. You recently seen Tyler pay homage
I'm gonna take a peep.
to MF Doom. What is that lineage to KMD? And then you have MF Doom, and then he passes, and then he's this phenomenon now.
Well, I mean, for me, I met Doom when he was 14 years old.
I mean, for people who don't know, remember, you're talking to us.
No. All right, so Doom.
People don't know what KMD is,
Right, so
what that whole thing is with Third Base.
Right. So even before Third Base. So when I had my solo record out, indie record, I used to hang out in Long Beach, Long Island. And I used to hang out with this kid I met Brandon. What up? And his man Otis. And they had a whole crew called GYP, which became my crew. And it was Mr. Hood, Heem, Diego, and then we would all go to a haircut from this kid named Subrock, right? And it was Subrock and Daniel Dumoulin, aka Art, and they were brothers, right? And Doom's name at the time was Zev Love X. So it was him, it was Subrock, and their boy Onyx. And I always told them, when I get on, you get on. Like when I make it, you make it.
Right.
So we had a term around our like little crew called the gas face, which was the face that girls made when we go to the mall and try to get a number.
Right.
And they would look at us like, and we like, damn, we spent all that gas money to get that face.
Right.
Right. And that's how we got that's how the word.
Oh, that's the gas.
That's how, that's the gas
It's
face.
not they gave you the gas face. It's you spent the money on gas
to get that face.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how and then we just kind of condensed it to gas face.
Right.
I think Ahmed said it was another kid who first started using it, and then
but that's
Doom
how
started using it. Then it
But that's how.
infiltrated.
That's where it came from.
Serch started taking me out to Long Beach, but he was going out to Long Beach with Doom at the MLK Center. That's where. Didn't you first meet him at the MLK Center?
We all met at
So
a party.
and that ties into Public Enemy because Dre and Spectrum City were putting together those shows with T Money and all them. MLK Center. So
and Grandmaster Reggie Reg and the Playboy Club and like all these local like DJs.
But you gotta understand, these kids were mad young. So I don't want to make like Serch was hanging out with like 12-year-olds.
No, Doom
going to
was
get girls.
14.
Yeah,
Doom
but
was
the other
14.
kids were younger.
Right. But Ahmed and Otis were my age. Like Ahmed was like, I was like the oldest one, right? So we get on. Album's 99% done.
Well, first you put on, we had a contract with Ahmed and Otis.
Right.
Remember that they had to finish school?
Right.
And they were going to be our dancers.
You had a contract with KMD?
No, with Ahmed and Otis from GYP.
So GYP.
First.
Okay.
So it was
So
a
that
whole
was-
crew of them called GYP. And we were dancers. Like the back of this
Okay,
album.
so just to understand, that whole crew involved KMD or KMD?
So let me show you.
They were all
afterthought?
together.
So you see this?
Like-
you see this cover?
Right.
This was Ahmed's basement.
That's the
This was
basement of Ahmed.
GYP.
That's GYP.
This is all GYP.
The people behind you.
All GYP.
Right.
And right here is Onyx, and there's Doom, and
There's
there's
Emus.
Diego,
Emus from the Gas Face.
Gas Face. This is our whole crew. That's GYP, right? We ran all over New York, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I used to go out there with you with
Please,
the Delta,
Buju.
the Delta 88.
Right. So we're finishing the album. We just did Brooklyn, Queens. They got us other beat. I was like, yo, we should do Gas Face.
No, but even before that,
Okay.
we took Doom and Subrock into the studio with the Bomb Squad when we were doing Step Into the AM and Oval Office, which is before the album even
I mean, they
came out.
came with us with everything.
But you
Just
gotta be
they were-
careful saying Doom because Doom was not a person.
was Zev Love
yet.
X.
Well, he was Zev Love X. So
That wasn't a
But
thing yet.
no, it was a thing because his name was Daniel Dumoulin.
So
we
he was
always
already-
called him Doom.
he was already Doom.
We always called him Doom.
We did not
Really?
call him Zev
Yeah.
Love X. He was called Doom.
Yeah, we always called him Doom.
This is above my head.
always called
He
him
was
Doom.
always called Doom.
Always called him Doom.
Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
because that was his last name, Daniel Dumoulin.
Right.
Wow.
So he was always Doom. We always called him Doom. Yo, Doom.
And they had
So
this,
that's where he evolves into this.
Yeah.
No, well, he evolved
He
into
had
that for
they
another
had
reason.
this other kid, Jade One, down with them,
Right,
and they had a
Jade One.
demo.
Right.
That's the first time we heard the actual demo. Because Doom would always write rhymes. He wouldn't spit them. We wouldn't hear a tape, but we would hear him. Some
And
of his
Subrock
beats.
made beats all the time.
Yeah.
Before the mask.
Way before the
Way
match.
before the match.
Like
Way
they
before.
were both obsessed with production, so we had them in with Keith Shockley, Vietnam in the studio. They're watching them.
Vietnam Sadler, right.
They're learning things, and they're taking that shit back to Long Beach. Doom got some equipment. I forget what.
He had a Nakai S something,
And I
like
think
an
he had
S9.
I think he had SP12 at one point too.
SP12.
And that's when he started making the first demos. And Jade One was in it. Then Jade One went out, and then Onyx came in. And that's at the point where Prince Paul sent me just a cassette with some beats, and that's where the Gas Face beat was on. So I gave it to Serch, gave it to Doom, and we had this idea, yo, this could be the Gas Face. So we were on the Long Island Railroad going out to Island Media Studio.
But first we asked Doom. We were like, Doom, can we do the Gas Face? Because it was like a GYP thing. So we wanted to
It
make
wasn't
sure.
even like gas. It was like, yo, let's do the Gas Face. He's like, yeah, let's
Right.
do it.
Because that term was the cruise term.
Right.
Right.
That's what you're saying, right?
So I wanted to make sure everybody was cool with it, but I was like, yo, if we do it, you got to jump on the record.
right.
And we wrote the lyrics on
the
the
train.
Long Island Railroad
Going out
on the
to-
way to Island Media.
Yeah, which was Paul's studio where he was working.
And rest in peace, Don Newkirk was in the studio with Paul, just hanging out. And it was all spontaneous. The whole thing, when you hear the outtakes with Hammer and all that shit, all improvised,
Yeah.
like off the top of the head, not even planned.
No.
Like Doom had written out, the only thing that we planned was that Doom wanted us introduced a certain way, like, oh, the Prime Minister, now everybody MC Serch.
So he dictated that?
He actually wrote it out. I have Serch. We all dropped the lyrics on the floor. I picked them. I still have the lyrics to this day, and I have
Lyrics
Doom's
to-
handwritten
Lyrics
instructions.
to what? It's almost-
Gas
Gas
Face.
Face. The Gas Face.
Okay, you have the actual.
The actual Serch's lyrics where he crossed shit out. My lyrics. And we don't have Doom's because Doom's was in one of his like marble rhyme books, and that's how it happened. And Don Newkirk kicked the intros, and then we just went nuts, and the whole Hammer thing came in there, and the rest is history.
I know it's not. I mean,
So basically,
hold on, Serch, I know this. You ain't got nothing
Yeah.
to do with it. But you got to take a shot for that. Take a shot.
Yeah.
Wait, let's get it. Yeah, hold on. Let's wait.
Right. So anyway, so after the record comes out, Dante, who is working with us,
Dante Ross.
Dante Ross.
He got the gas face. Did you give him the gas face?
No, he didn't get the gas.
No,
face.
yeah.
So Dante went to Electro,
Okay.
and we were like, yo, we started a production company called Ramen is Fundamental, Riff.
But before that, we had Lior signed to manage KMD with us, with Riff.
Really?
10%. So we already had doing them under
All right,
Rush
now-
before
now.
Electro.
Yes. Salud.
So
Fine.
the first part was to try to get him on Def Jam. And
Swing and a miss.
Russell wasn't feeling it.
KMD.
Yeah.
KMD.
KMD.
But KMD was considered like edgy at that time, right?
Well, they weren't. It wasn't
KMD
they were
was
edgy,
unknown.
They were just unknown because it was just Zev Love X's verse on Gas Face. So everybody was like,
Which you can't understate that because we're taking
No,
Doom on
of course not.
Arsenio. We're taking him on the road with Kane.
No,
we're
no,
like
of
Doom is
course.
out there, you
Yeah,
know, like
no,
as a young
no,
kid.
yeah, of
like
course.
Sub Rock would come out sometimes because he was still They were both still in school, but Sub was like, what, 2 years younger? And
16, he was 16.
Yeah. So Doom was out there more with us, and he experienced things that a kid his age would never experience.
Right.
Right.
Like he was with Tupac on the tour.
Wait, he was with Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had Zev Love X on the tour with Third Base. So when every time we did Gas Face, he came out.
Wow.
Zev Love X.
So how does that feel to see the way that Tyler revered him on this?
I mean, it's incredible.
Recently?
I mean, you know, but
Honored him.
the thing,
Like, is that
the
weird?
most no, it's not even weird. But here's the thing: if his brother Sub Rock didn't die, there is no Doom.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, the point that Sub Rock passed.
Like you saying that's why he donned the Doom?
No, because
MF
Doom was depressed. I mean, he lost his brother, and the album
Black Bastards.
Black Bastards, which, you know, we kind of split up at that time. I was managing KMD with
Mad
Babito.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's like the third time I heard just say that.
Doom
Respect
created
that.
the cover, and they had the iconic like Sambo character, which was a whole message,
that's the
which
first
was
time I remember.
anti-Sambo.
Yeah.
That was the whole message. So he did this artwork where he had a hangman game.
I remember that.
With Black Bastards.
Let me tell you a great story. I'm sorry. Please hold your spot because I love this story. When we were doing the video for Gas Face, Doom and Sub Rock made KMD shirts.
Handmade, like with a marker.
With the Sambo. Lionel Martin from Classic Concepts, who was the video director, and Ralph McDaniels from Video Music Box, when they see it, they cut. Lights up. And they're like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit on your fucking face. Fucking Sambo, get that shit out of here. This young man is talking to a grown man, educating him on what this face is. And within 5 minutes, he was like, yeah, you can stop. But that was like the level that they both were on in terms of their frequency, like how they would put positive ions in the world, like how they would understand how to break down Ansar Law stuff where you wouldn't feel like a villain.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the way
Hence the villain.
Yeah.
Right, and at the time they're selling oils on the
Right.
street with Dr. York, and you know, they're on that whole mindset, and you know, Doom coming up in that environment, you know, he was a deep thinker, and when he made that album cover, there was so much thought behind it. So Havelock Nelson at Billboard looked at it, and he didn't get it, and he wrote an article
Scathing,
saying that this was disrespectful to black people, and Ice-T's Cop Killer controversy had just happened with Warner.
Right.
And Elektra's under Warner.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, it's like an avalanche with Sylvia Rhone, and all these people are against it. Next thing you know, Bob Krasnow's telling Dante, the album's
back the
done.
record.
We just mastered the album. They already paid all the money.
Wow.
And it's ready to go. The single is already out. What a Niggy Know. It's already been released promo, and it's already out on the radio. And they dropped the whole shit. So
They dropped them completely.
Sub Rock had already passed away, so this was almost like a tribute to Sub Rock because he had done so much of the production. He came into his own as an MC on the album, and I remember just being at the memorial service, you know, where Doom was playing the album, like next to Sub Rock's casket.
Wow.
Yeah, with
And
radio,
it was deep, and the fact that Doom lost his brother, lost his career. Like, I tried to get that album signed to Def Jam. Tommy Boy, no one would touch it.
He wasn't wearing the mask yet.
No mask whatsoever. And, you know, Doom went to D.C., he went down south, he was all over the place, and he disappeared for a while. Like, there were a number of different... He was hanging out a lot with CM Mob, Curious George, and all them. And at some point, you know, he reemerged back at the Nuyorican...
Cafe.
events. Yeah, cafe. And that's where he came with the sock over his head. That was the start of him.
Remember the white MC
disguising
we told
himself.
you, the very first white MC, Vanilla B, named Keo? He designed the mask.
Really?
And
for Doom.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Wow.
This is the whole like journey. Like, he met Sub Rock through Doom through Babito. Like, you know, Babito went on to Def Jam through us. It was just this whole circle. And then Blake actually designed the first mask for Doom, which was, I think it was one of the wrestler...
from the, something from the wrestler.
Yeah, and then he like customized it.
Yeah.
That was the first mask,
then
which I think was somebody sat on and broke at some
and then
point.
Operation Doomsday came out, and that's the start of MF Doom.
So then Doom reinvented his whole persona, and just lyrically, he was always way above the grade, and then he just took it to another level.
And then
So
20th anniversary
that persona of having the mask came from him losing his brother.
Yeah, I think
part of it. I think
again, my perspective. It's just my perspective, right?
A lot of people. Let me just ask you. A lot of people thought that when they went to an MF Doom concert, they didn't know if MF Doom
was going to show up or not.
If that was him or not.
Well, because it was somebody else at different times. I even had a couple of guys from GYP. I think they went to Sony.
I mean, that's
Sony Theater, and Doom walked by him with the mask and didn't even acknowledge him. And I said to him, well, that may not have been actual Doom. It could have been
smart, bro.
It could have been the cover. Now, the other full circle story is Rich called me 2012 or 10 or 11?
With the mask, I had started battling again under a persona called Lord Raiden. And I remember when I went to Atlanta and I did this party, I was with Doom, and I told him about the mask and stuff. And after that, he started doing it.
And so he asked Rich to DJ for him on tour, on I think a world tour, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And then I think he had a problem with, passports, stuff like that. Because Doom, even when he traveled with us, he was born in England. So he still had the English passport. You guys used to get detained all the time when we would go to Europe.
So Doom was British?
Doom was born in
Let me
Britain.
find out, bro.
I'm learning some shit.
You learning some shit.
So rest in peace, Doom.
Rest in peace. But how dope is it to see
It's incredible.
Tyler, the Creator, pay homage to him?
Well,
and the way he
everybody.
just
I mean, there's so many people
No, I know,
that,
but this is...
But I mean, Tom York, poured his head.
No. He's revered.
It's crazy.
But recently, in recent times,
he died, there were 15 full train burners that went in countries that would never even allow graffiti to leave the fucking tunnel.
Right.
That rocked for weeks. France, Shanghai, Tokyo, places that they buff before the shit even leaves the tunnel. People that get caned, killed, put in jail, them shits rocked for weeks. That's the impact the man had.
Yeah. Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah, rest in peace, goddamn.
With the man, though.
Well, going through you guys' discography, there's a song called Brooklyn Queens, right? Now, I can't tell, was that something that was dedicated to Brooklyn Queens Day? You remember that festival?
Right. Brooklyn Queens Day,
we had in Flushing Meadow Park, and it was called Brooklyn Queens Day, but it was a bunch of Queens dudes. I don't think Brooklyn never came out, but it was called Brooklyn Queens Day in Queens. Was that record a homage to that?
So when me and Serch first signed to Rush, Serch was in the studio working with Sam Sever.
Mm-hmm.
I was working by myself, and Rich was in Farmingdale. I was trying to get Rich to come in. Dante called up Sam Sever. I wasn't a producer. I needed some help on the beat. Sam Sever came in to help me. So Brooklyn Queens was one of the songs that me and Rich had done first.
Okay, wow.
We did the first demo at Funky Slice.
Didn't sound anything like Brooklyn.
Exactly. So, but then as, Private the Environment was on Serch's original demo. So we kind of brought each of our catalogs of songs together. And then we flipped Brooklyn Queens as,
Oh, so that was your homage.
Yeah.
That's what it always kind of felt like. It was. You remember, that was one of the biggest things. That was the first time I ever seen Akinelli and Nas perform together. There's a thing called Brooklyn Queens Day, and I went and I seen them. And I was like, I had seen them in the neighborhood so many different times, and I was like, oh, these guys rap? And I was like, oh, shit, that's who the fuck these people are?
Right. And
like,
it was kind of more influenced even by like Latoya, by Just Ice. Like
Yeah, I think
those,
from-
the
yeah, I think
females,
from- yeah.
like Brooklyn Queens. It was like one of those.
Yeah, like we would kind of do
paying homage to the females.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was like all about like, you know, meeting a girl from Brooklyn. When you're from Queens, right? Like especially from Far Rockaway, like that's kind of like a status symbol. Like if you scoop a girl from downtown Brooklyn, like you doing something.
A word?
You really
Back
doing
then?
something. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like we didn't really have it like you, where you had baddies and left frack.
Yeah.
Like you know.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like we had to really troop out and find like, you know.
And just the whole name of the song, like, I lived in Long Island, I lived in Queens, went to school in Brooklyn. So it was just that whole context of Brooklyn, Queens. And I mean, it could have been very easily.
Because Brooklyn, Queens, we're very compared to Harlem and the Bronx.
But at the time, Brooklyn and Queens took over hip hop with Houdini and Run-D.M.C. So like you had that shift.
I love that.
That was like the biggest shift in hip hop.
So there was no Harlem and Bronx back then?
Well, there was.
I mean, it was.
But that was a shift with them and with Rush. I mean, because that's what Russell did. Russell started in Harlem with Hollywood.
Ooh.
Like Russell started promoting Hollywood in like
DJ Hollywood.
DJ Hollywood, 1977.
It was like the first crossover hip hop DJ. They
Exactly. And you know, a lot of people say Hollywood isn't hip hop. Hollywood was the biggest rap star.
Wu-Tang.
I don't wanna go sleep all night with my honey bun. Give me some of that yummy yum before I go to work.
Look at y'all motherfuckers. Look at y'all youngins. Look at y'all youngins. Look at y'all youngins. You can tell the
Motherfuckers looking on his phone looking at Georgiana. Like he's fucking, oh, Georgiana must be smashing right now.
And he was getting $500 a show for maybe like a half hour at every club, doing like 5 clubs a night, $2,500 a night. And we got the contract to prove it.
Yo.
Crazy.
That's legendary. I want to take a shot just for cause again.
Let's go and take the picture.
I think shots are necessary.
Shots and pictures. I like it.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. Hold on. It's so great, man. I really enjoy giving y'all brothers y'all flowers.
We appreciate it.
I enjoy this, man.
Holding it up.
Y'all continue to do this shit, and you know what? In sports and shit like that, you know. You blow your Achilles heel, blow your fucking knee out or your fucking elbow or get a concussion. We kind of don't get that in hip hop. We get it mentally. But if we can overgrow that and we can do this shit for the rest of our life, do this shit for the rest of our life. You know what I mean? Continue to be great, because the one thing that I noticed with me being in my own shit is when I wasn't doing certain things, it's people that really have that responsibility to want to be a part of us. So there's a whole bunch of lost third base fans that are so happy right now. It was like, oh, they're back together, and they got the same DJ. Like, it's like
I'm one of them.
I'm one of them. Everybody's supposed to say, I'm one of them after that. Like, come on, like, you know,
Motherfuckers are too young.
Yeah.
You got fucking 12-year-olds in here. Like, Willis One is one of them. Christian is one of them. Like, all these young motherfuckers. Fuck them, man.
Start again. So you say, I'm one of them.
I'm one of them.
I'm one of them.
Man, that guy.
I know Sonny is one of them. I know Sonny's one of them.
So on the count of 3, we all say it together. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. We're going to take a couple of drops. Yep.